Howdy.
Hell was that?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. That was so weird. The intro video disappeared.
Completely
It's
changed.
it's no longer here. That was
Well
so
then,
weird.
that's all right.
What the literal hell,
I
man?
guess we could call that a glitch in the matrix.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. It's
Yeah.
it's finally happening.
All right. Systems crashing, simulations ending. It's all Trump's fault. Welcome
Oh god, yes it
to
is.
the Geek Matrix DC
Welcome to the
Comics
apocalypse.
episode number 224?
223.
Three.
223.
223. I thought it
223.
was three, but I wasn't sure. But 223. So I know I should be rating it down, but I'm having too much fun doing this guessing game and see if I get it right. After I kept getting it wrong, I'm like, this is kind of fun. Maybe I'll just keep going. So, hope that's not stressing you out.
Oh man. I'm just stressed out, period.
I hear you. I hear you. A lot of things to
Which
be
is
stressed
really
out
weird
about.
because I don't get stressed out. Like I don't get stressed out. I wasn't even stressed when my heart rate was going 240. It's like just all right. Well, I should probably call the ambulance now.
Well,
I don't. I am feeling stress, and it's unreasonable. And hopefully, like all I'm like, fingers crossed, our new Superman can save us.
yep, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So we're here every week talking comics, DC Comics specifically, but we talk about all sorts of comics too. If you're regular listeners, you know what we're about. And I'm going to start the show off as we wait for Brandon. He's running a little late today. I can only imagine his transit's keeping him back. I'm going to start this off with maybe a talk show anecdote. So, speaking of keeping things de-stressed,
Yes, sir.
depressing news. Well, a little bit of funny news within depressing news. So, North Korea has gone to join Russia, and North Korean
Not surprised.
soldiers, for a lot of them, this is their first time going that far out of North Korea. That a lot of them are, if not all of them, are getting internet access for the first time, and upon having this internet access, are discovering porn and are getting hooked on it.
Good. That's what them silly bastards need.
Porn.
This episode's gonna have to get marked explicit and not for children, but yes, I mean
mean,
just go
it's been
whatever
always.
whatever you think your kink is, just hit it up. If not, spin the wheel. Just choose something at random.
Yep.
It'll either freak you out or get your geek on.
Yeah. There's you know, it
It's
might
a
awaken
porn.
something in you.
It's porn.
You.
It's secure for the common communist.
Yes, Brandon, that's what we're talking about. Hello, B. How you doing?
Hello.
Yes, we're talking about North Korean and porn.
Am I supposed to be here right now?
I was breaking the ice with a talk show anecdote with North Korean soldiers heading into Russia to help fight against Ukraine. A lot of them are discovering internet access for the first time, and among that, they're discovering porn for the first time, and many of them are becoming addicted to it.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's not a sentence you'd ever think you'd hear.
No.
It's up there with Donald J. Trump, 47th President of the United States.
Oh man. I don't even know how to respond to that.
Oh yeah, especially the second part.
Just like, I get it. If you've never seen it, it's weird.
Mhm.
But what the fuck? And
Seriously.
huh? That's what happens when you lock your people up and all they can look at is you all day.
Yuck. Just yuck. But
Anyway,
there's a lot of.
how are we doing today?
We are doing wonderful, my friends. We
Yeah.
are doing wonderful. How are you guys doing?
Wonderful. Thank you for asking.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. I found some old comics and some old video games today. I'm feeling good.
Nice.
I had the time because the city workers in my town have decided to go on strike today.
Oh,
So I
fun.
found out I wasn't able to get to work today, so I didn't go to work.
Oh no! Gotta hate when the bills don't get paid.
It's like an
yeah.
hour.
Hopefully they
plus
don't hold that against you.
I'm honestly, I haven't told you guys this yet, but even if they were going to, it doesn't fucking matter because next Thursday is my last day.
Whoa.
I already knew that.
wow.
Yeah, you did because you've been talking to Russell. Yeah,
Well, congrats, or maybe not congrats.
it's a lot less stress. So yes, congrats is in order, I think.
Yeah. Are you
Thank
moving on to something else, or
Yes,
actively
yeah.
searching?
Out of
Ooh.
the company into a different company, a printing company, where I'll be
Ooh.
moving papers from one place to another.
All right.
Literally, that's the job. I look forward to no stress. That's what I look forward to. It's going to be
Love no
very
stress.
dull, very menial, and it's just 8 hours of moving a stack of papers. But I'm okay with that because I don't have to talk to customers with silly questions.
Oh, you got
No more
you do
customers
have to
coming in
deal.
asking, what was it, the best way to get blood out of a carpet or something?
Right.
Blood out of a
Yeah.
mattress. Does kerosene
Blood
get
out of a
blood
mattress. Yeah.
Wild.
No, instead you have to go to work with some weird warehouse workers that you look at and go, I wonder if he's the kind of guy that walks up to a dude in Home Depot and says, Wonder.
So, yeah, another curious customer, if I can indulge you with one more funny story, it was one
Oh boy.
of my favorite. Actually, I have two. One funnier than the other. One just makes you just what the fuck. So I used to work in the paint section of said hardware store.
Right.
Big box hardware store, to which I shall not name it because I do not care to. It's a big department. It's 3 aisles, big mixing desk. And I was at one corner of the mixing desk into the department. This guy comes from the far end, 3 aisles over, at the far corner of the mixing desk, which is a fairly big mixing desk. Goes around past all the paint chips, past buckets of paint, and past the entire fucking desk to come to me and then asks me, is this the paint department? And I go, yes. And he says, how do you know?
Man, somebody, no, this ain't the paint department. Somebody done dropped these paint buckets all over here, and I haven't figured out who yet.
You should have,
Here's your sign.
obviously it would have been a little mean-spirited, but you should have kind of like fucked with him and like you went up to him all dramatically, put your hand on his shoulder, and you're like, and you're wait, just you like give it like a beat. He's like, how do you know? And you put your hand on his shoulder, and you're like,
Because I
they
fucking
speak
work
to
here.
me. They speak to me, and I know. Like some kind of insane shit.
Right?
To be honest,
Just be like,
I was
it's
tempted.
just a feeling.
It's like we have a connection.
Oh no, that's not it. You look at him and you go, you mean you can't feel that?
Wait, have you Josh, have you ever seen that Key and Peele sketch, The Shine? You know what I'm talking about?
God, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Where he's like, Peele shows up to work, and there's like this thing that only apparently black people can do, The Shine, where it's like they can communicate telepathically. It's just like it turns out being real, but I was thinking like something supernatural like that, where you can just kind of mess with his mind, where you're just like, what they don't talk to you? You don't hear them? You don't hear the paints?
You don't hear the paint?
I was seriously tempted to actually mess with him, and I actually did take a beat for a second, and like, the fuck do I say to that? Like, how far can I take this? But I didn't want to get any trouble, so I just, still kind of sarcastically, I said, "You see that big sign right there at the front of the aisle? Yeah, it says paint." Oh, and then he walked away.
And then he walked away.
Then he didn't even ask a fucking question.
Well, I mean, he definitely asked like 2 questions.
Yeah, but I think if he wants to know if it's the paint, that you'd think you'd need to know something about paint. Not, I still to this day don't understand.
The reason why something is considered to be crazy is because it's something you're not supposed to understand.
Yeah.
You just can't. Let it be crazy. If you try to understand crazy, you're going to drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, I think I've already gone there and come back.
Oh, no. What a waste of gas money.
Another guy one early morning on a weekday came in with his 2 painters. And they got a big 5-gallon bucket of paint. Flat finish. Josh, I imagine you know all the inner workings of paint and whatnot. But for those that don't, flat finish is like no shine whatsoever, right?
No. Yep. And it picks up every freaking speck of dirt. And you can't really wash it.
Nope.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's just horrible.
So they picked the color. It was like an off-white because it was just like builder's grade shit. And like I mixed the color for them. That's it. Shake it up. And what we always do when we mix the color, we take the bucket to the front, we pop off the lid, show the color, pop the lid back on, put a little speck on the label, off you go, right?
Yep.
So I do that. Take the lid off, show the color. 2 painters look, like most painters do. Yeah, just nod their head. Okay, yeah, that's good. Because they don't fucking care. They're just like, okay, it's the color. Yeah, sure. Right? And then I go to pop it back on. The homeowner goes, wait, let me look at that one more time. So I think, okay, take off the lid, show him again. He said, I'm no expert, but that doesn't look very flat to me. And I looked at the painters, and they just looked like, oh, for fuck's sake. I was like, sir, it's because it's wet. It hasn't dried yet. And he goes,
oh my fucking...
So I put the lid back on, and they went their merry way. Painters looking.
I mean, maybe you should have just.
I'm already dropping F-bombs. I'm just gonna have to skip the dashes part here when it's time for him to listen to the podcast.
Maybe you should have just sold him like a chunk of dried paint.
Yeah, I mean, if we had it, I would have. But then he would have complained about the color, and I would have said, "That's too bad. That's the only flat we have."
Right. It's just like this is only the flat. Oh, it's in a bucket right now, so it's bucket shaped. But once you take it home and put it on the floor, it will be flat.
I wish I could up with that. Oh my, that's perfect. That is good. Yeah.
Yes.
And the amount of people that would come in, look at our wall of 1,000+ colors, go to the desk and say, "Can I get this color?" I said, "Okay, what do you want it in?" And
light blue, please.
And then like the shine and what size. And then I go get the candy. He said, "Is that it?" I'm like, I have to make the colors. Like, oh, I thought you just had it on the shelf. I'm like, bitch, look at this aisle. We have
there's
30 different types of paint
colors.
and only one aisle in a fucking hardware store, and over like 1,000 colors, and you think we're gonna have them all just ready to fucking go?
Look from your phone.
People, if you go to buy paint, think about things first. Just be smart. Take a moment. Things make more sense if you just take a step back.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And,
don't stress out your local hardware store employee.
Pick one store. Pick a color and run with it, man.
Yeah.
They're the store. They're the experts.
Oh, please don't even go there. Because we had contractors coming to us and say, "How do I do this?" I'm like, you're the fucking contractor. Why are you asking me, a 22-year-old that just got hired 2 months ago, how to paint a house?
Yeah, but you worked out or that big box store. You could have sent them up to the the nondescript professional desk, and that's where they go to learn that shit. Actually, they have classes that they sign up through there.
Not anymore.
Oh, for real?
At least not up here. Maybe
Oh
they do
wow,
down there, but not up here. But
wow, that's
these
crazy.
were guys that already had a job. They were coming to buy the paint and then take it to the house to go paint it.
And they were asking you to.
Like, what do I do with it?
No, Russell, this is not the wrestling podcast.
Wrestling
Yeah,
with life, I guess.
wrestling with life. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't have to worry about the shit no more. Next week, in 2 weeks, I'll be working with a good old Russell. But that's for another time. We're here to talk about comics.
That means for a solid
We're
6
gonna
to
talk
8
about
hours a
comics.
day, I'm hoping Russell's going to be riding your ass about starting up a wrestling podcast.
Well, we're working in different departments, so different areas of the building. I only see
Yeah.
him for a little bit of the time. Though apparently he's driving me to and from work.
Haha.
So-
So you have to begin and end your day
Nice.
with it.
As I said, y'all got to talk to my wife. That's what you got to do. You convince her, you got me.
Fine.
I have a hard enough time getting her to put a song up on Music League.
Yeah.
Good luck.
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. B, what's going on with you, bud? How's life in New York City?
Ooh, life in New York City is always entertaining in some way or another. Yeah, I don't know. Things are up and down. You know, some days are good, some days are but
Yeah.
it's good to be on the show, chatting with my homies.
Hell yeah.
User.
So I want to
Yeah.
ask you, Brandon, because I think you might have been one of the naysayers about it. What do you think of my Hal Jordan custom?
I can't really see it.
Hold on one moment. Let me fix that.
That's a custom?
Well, I switched out the lower torso.
Oh,
So it's the modern costume,
oh,
the current costume.
was I? It looks fine to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
I
maybe
like
it was. I was not a huge fan of the costume, but the figure looks fine.
Well, the figure is fucking awesome. What do you
Yeah.
think about this custom?
Now that is it's not unsettling because it doesn't look cool. It's unsettling because I don't like the idea of a Zudarian Red Lantern, especially not Tomar Ray. That breaks my heart.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of a Zodarian with that much muscle mass.
Yeah. Also, it does look a little
Looks unnatural.
funky. Just Tomar having the green mask, but the Red Lantern costume. Like he's halfway in between.
Yeah,
He just hasn't gotten it painted yet. It's coming.
yeah. I literally put the head on like 20 minutes ago.
Ah, there you go.
Create a whole character around this sumbitch and then sell it to DC.
Yeah. Let's see if
You got to have a reason why he's so buff, right?
Exactly. Here, I'll make it better. Avon Sewer. All right. So,
Make him a vigilante Red Lantern,
how's that look?
like the Red Hood of the Red Lantern.
That works a little better.
That's a bit better.
Whoa, I don't know, man. For me, that's like a lot.
That's a
Red
lot.
Well, do you
Lantern,
have
Evan
Do you have a
Sur.
Sinestro?
I do.
Do you have two Sinestros though? That's the.
No. I mean,
Right.
I technically I have 3 Sinestros, but they're all different figures. From different lines.
Wait, actually,
I only have
hold
one
on.
McFarlane.
Hold that thought. There's something that I like. I keep forgetting to show it to Josh because I think he's gonna
That's-
flip.
That's where we all go with the whole. You know, do we sacrifice some figures for others?
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes you have to.
I mean, to be fair, one day I do want to
To be
have 2
fair.
McFarlane Sinestros because the one I got was the platinum, where he's like half green, half yellow, and I don't
Yeah.
like it.
Mm.
So take the head off of that one, toss the body aside for the bin for a minute, and use that on your Red Lantern. There you go.
I could, but I don't have the other Sinestro yet.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah.
That does put a wrench in the gears there.
Yeah.
What do you got that big old grin on your face there for, Brandon?
So I keep forgetting to bring this up because I've had it for a while, and I just now remembered, and it's gonna put a big old smile on Josh's face. But
do tell.
Recently, I was at my comic shop, as I'm wont to be, and I discovered something in the $2 bin that made me do a backflip. Not because I necessarily wanted it a ton, but more because I was like, when I get on the podcast, Josh is going to lose it. Because I found, bam.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god!
Not the original miniseries, but the start of the Alan Grant run.
Yes, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, but this cover, right?
Yes. Oh, that's so sick.
So
$2.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Who does that?
I'm, as you know, not the biggest fan of Lobo, but I had to pick this up because I was like, why not? But I thought to myself, I was like, wow, I mean, that's such a great steal. I feel like it's gotta go to someone who loves Lobo, who would actually appreciate having this issue in the house. So I'll just leave it at that.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you, Brandon.
Yeah,
you know how much I love Lobo.
Right?
Just leave it at that.
Like, spent $2 to show it to me. I mean, I appreciate the shit out of that. That is
no. I think you're
awesome
missing it.
Cover.
But
yeah.
maybe I shouldn't have buried the lead so much. What I was trying to get at was, I don't necessarily want to keep this in my house. So I was thinking, whose house could it go to that might actually appreciate it more than I could?
Well, I would.
So that's all I'm gonna say.
They fucking. I'm looking at all of the multiverse toys that I want the other day, and I started putting together, and then I like just stopped doing it because I came across. I remembered that I still haven't gotten Lobo in his bike yet. Lobo and Space Hog. So I'm like, none of this fucking matters. I need Lobo first.
John, I just need to know, you get it, right?
What?
You get what Brandon's trying to say?
Yeah, he's putting Lobo up for adoption. I hope he finds him a good home. Yes, I get it. Thank you, Brandon. I really.
I was like, well, maybe I don't know.
Maybe
I'm being too subtle.
Just maybe. It was hard to tell. You're good.
Sometimes it be like that. Well, thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it very much. That is absolutely awesome. I can't believe it was only a $2 bin. That's nuts.
I wish I could get it signed, but unfortunately, Alan Grant is no longer with us.
Yeah.
Oh well.
All the good ones that touched him aren't.
I know.
Really?
More Keith Giffen, more Alan Grant.
Sucks. It does suck. I've recently been thinking about going back and reading like OG Lobo, where he was like super smart and basically just built to kill Superman, be better than Superman in every way. You know, before he became the kind of sleaze bag. Not that I don't love the sleaze bag. That's my Lobo. But just reading.
No,
reading
you hate the
that,
sleaze bag, is what I'm hearing.
Fucking love the sleaze bag. That's one of my favorite bestiches in the whole DC universe, in the whole fragging DC multiverse, omniverse, whatever. Okay. Well, thank you, Brandon. That's freaking awesome. You know what else is awesome?
I hope whoever gets their hands on this in the near future can have some fun with it.
I am definitely sure they will. And I'm definitely sure that if it arrives and damaged in any way, shape, or form, he might beat the post office with his mailbox.
Well, surely
that's just
somewhat
supposition.
protected.
So get this. Out of curiosity, I looked up that Lobo series, see what the value is on comicbookrealm.com. So issue 1 is going for $10. You got it at a fucking steal. Good job.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think it's that valuable.
Yeah. I like to look at the whole run though and see every issue's $4, except for issue 56, which inexplicably is $30. And usually further down it'll tell you like key moments or like if there's a first appearance or what. And apparently in issue 56, which is I Married a Main Man, there's a cameo appearance of Crush in a dream.
Oh my god.
Like his daughter.
No,
that's definitely something. Well, it has to be added retroactively because Crush didn't exist before 2018.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. I mean, have you read the whole run?
Oh no.
Yeah. I mean,
I haven't even read this first issue.
Maybe Crush has been a thing and just people forgot about it.
That's what I'm like. I've read everything. I'm trying to. That broke my fucking head.
I don't know. I feel like it's another Son of the Demon thing where once Damian popped up in Batman and Son, they retroactively were like, "Oh, the little baby in Son of the Demon was Damian the whole time." But
I mean, it does say that she was in a dream, so it's not necessarily like she was born.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the synopsis now. Trying to see if I can see anything, but that was interesting.
Very interesting, if you say so myself.
Okay, so yeah, it's
son of a bitch, and I don't have it either.
Yeah, it really is just.
I don't have the book. I just checked my list.
Yeah, it might just be kind of retroactively into that, but like.
I still want to see it.
So the paragraph I'm reading says, quite a few years and 4 children later, Lobo plays baseball in the yard with his kids. The boys who take after the mother ask him to take it easy while urging their sister to hurry up and pitch. And I guess the woman he marries is not a Zarnian, which would make sense. The little girl, who resembles the Zarnian parentage much more, hurls the ball at her father's groin. She cusses out her old man for being useless.
Yeah, which, it definitely sounds like the Crush we'd see however many years later.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, probably wasn't named Crush.
No.
Just Lobo with a family.
Yeah, it doesn't even list characters in the rest of the fandom post. So.
Well, I'm going to actively look for this issue. I don't have it on my list. I've got my collection stops at 51 and then starts back up at 63. So yes, I know.
I don't know if it'll help at all, but apparently the issue
books.
After that one is issue 1 million.
Okay, well, I'm missing one book, and then it picked it. I'm missing 7 books.
Final issue?
No.
Not according to this.
64 issues.
I asked because usually the
66 issues altogether.
Ah, I see. Yeah.
Well, Lobo in DC 1 million looks inexplicably like that clown from Spawn.
The Violator?
The Violator. Oops, I farted. Sorry, John Leguizamo ruined that character. I love John Leguizamo, but he ruined that character. The fart jokes just fucked him up for me. I don't find him villainous in any way, shape, or form.
Not threatening. I realized that was John Leguizamo
in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's John Leguizamo, all right.
Though I also haven't seen that movie like a long fucking time.
All right, you guys got anything in the way of the news?
Not really.
Well, we have the apocalypse began, and then we've got Batman First Night hardcover coming out for $30. I found out that there's a lot of extra material that's in that Hard Traveling Heroes omnibus.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
24 never before collected issues.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, never before collected. Okay.
Never before collected issues, hundreds of pages of stories never before collected in color, and a huge ass bonus gallery, of course. And apparently Mike Grell gets involved into it, the forward or introduction, excuse me.
Yeah, that would make sense, considering he did a bulk of the art for the later period, and like when the series was in like the. Not like the decade 80s and 90s, but the numerical number of the series, like when it was in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And pulls in everything, man. Pulls in Brave and the Bold, DC Retroactive, The Flash, everything that was involved in that fucking series, man. I'm sitting here looking at it thinking, oh, I need about $5,000 to satisfy my comic and action figure itch right now. $5,000. Some of it would be spent on that and the Wildcats compendium.
But that's under 100 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that's like 25. Then Elseworlds Batman, I'd get that, and then there's like 5 other TPs that hit the stands this week as well that I'd like to grab.
Although honestly, I mean, yeah, you can get the Wildcats compendium, but if you go to any comic shop in America that has a dollar bin, there is almost a guarantee that there will be issues of Wildcats in there.
Oh, for
I've
sure.
seen so many copies of 1 through 4, it would shock you.
My problem, Brandon, and you saw this when I passed on that Who is Donna Troy miniseries, because it was missing two of the issues. Like when I start a story, like it drives me absolutely fucking nuts not to get to the next part of it, and that's part of the reason why I don't do solicits, is because it's like I'm gonna find out what it is, and I'm finding out it would eliminate the reason for me to read comics, which is to get a new story every week. I forgot why I started saying that.
Well, if it's any consolation, the only really long-running story, I mean, there's the whole Damonites plot, but that first arc is only 4 issues. So if you can find the 4 issues, which I think is pretty easily done, you're good. Also, maybe I'm still resentful that the compendium does not have those issues of Cyberforce to complete the Killer Instinct crossover, but.
Yes, that's right. That's right. It doesn't. I forgot about that.
It's also just like when you read those issues, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck? Who's Ripclaw?"
Right, poof. Yeah. It's just like comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, who's Ripclaw? Who's Heatwave? Who are all of these guys from Cyberforce teaming up with the Wildcats? Why are they mentioning this mysterious like backstory that Ripclaw and Warblade apparently have?
Right, where did these people
who are these people? You know what I mean?
Why is everybody acting like they already fucking know them?
Yeah. I feel like there's something missing, but I don't know what it is.
Something's off.
It's wrong. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Right? Probably including how long it is we're taking to get to the comic books this week, given the vast number of them that we've got here. I forgot what. There we go. We've got a buttload of great comics that we're going to be talking about today in length. Green Arrow's Annual, Shazam 17, Poison Ivy 27, Birds of Prey 15, Batman 154, Action Comics 1074, JSA number 1, Absolute Superman number 1, and Batgirl number 1. And then we have our honorable mentions as well. And I went peeking into the variant covers too, because of Absolute Superman. Holy crap! First, the Will Jack variant of Batman 154 is awesome. It's fucking beautiful. You should check it out. I don't know if you guys looked at any of them or not. I could drop you the link if you wanted. All 14 of the Absolute Superman variants are dope as hell. But if you want to seek any of them out, Jim Lee, Tyler Kirkham, and Clayton Crane, those are amazing. There's a bunch of other ones too. Sweeney Boo did a JSA variant. That was sick. You should really check that out. And Art Germ's Batgirl #1. That one I want on my wall. Oh, please. But as far as the books go, Plastic Man No More #3, Patrick O'Brien's Life Sucks. But I am having a damn good time reading it. 8.5 out of 10. DC Horror presents Creature Commandos #2. It's flat out cool getting to know the Commandos and how they're going to work together, the story that's coming together, how much they really don't like each other right now. 8.5 out of 10. I've been having a good time with it. Little Batman Month 1 #1. So if you enjoy the silliness of the movie Merry Little Batman, you're going to enjoy this book. If you haven't watched it, Go take a peek at the trailer. It's probably still on Prime Video. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. It's funny. It's silly. It's a good time. I enjoyed it. Batman keeps his beard. Damian asks Bruce who taught him most of his martial arts, and he answers, "Your actually, let's talk about that some other time." So I mean, I hope that sums up the kind of humor that's in this. It's really good. There is also My Adventures with Superman #6. I know that this is off of a younger kids cartoon, but I'm telling you, the book is just dope. It's so good. It's really, really great ending in this issue to the emotional Amazo story that's been going on. I really mean it when I say this series is a good read. 8.5 out of 10. And then Dash did another review for us this week for Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries #11. So I'll let him pipe in here real quick.
Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries 11. I love this issue. There are literally no problems. A lot of action scenes, stories, everything you want. The art was super good, but it used caption boxes and not soft balloons, and I like the balloon. 9.9 out of 10. Batman and Scooby-Doo.
There we go. That works for some reason.
I wish I could still review books like that.
And I like the balloons. He said 9.9 out of 10. He said it was almost perfect. And that is all the honorables worth mentioning.
I mean, like, also all the honorables we have.
Yeah.
It's all the books that came out that we're not reviewing.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a number of trade paperbacks I don't mention.
Yeah.
Unless they really deserve it.
I mean, like, a lot of them you probably already reviewed over the past few years.
Fair enough.
There's also a new series coming out called FML from Dark Horse that I just picked up today because just that title alone made me laugh.
Right?
I haven't read it yet, but it's Kelly Sue DeConnick and David Lopez, so hopefully it's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yeah, I saw like in big, where I can show you, just in big letters, FML, and I was like, what is this?
I like the cover too.
It looks ridiculous. So there you go.
I'm gonna have to check that one out for sure.
Right on.
Would you say that it's a hit?
I don't know. I just picked it up today, but I hope so. It looks good.
Did the cover hit the target?
It looks interesting enough. I don't know. You can take a look, but yeah, it doesn't really reveal too much, TBH. But the art is great. So it's I know. This needs to be like a screen grab or something.
Right.
Just me smiling with FML next to my face.
Well, FML may have hit the target. Let's see if the next issue here did.
Ah, yes. Green Arrow Annual 2024, 1 out of 12 and a half. 0.5.
12.5.5.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think Cornell failed you.
Probably why I didn't take too many math-related classes in college.
I point out because I want to make sure you got it too, Brandon. Did you catch what Josh was putting down the side?
I think I might have missed it.
I forgot.
Josh,
Oh, no.
you kept mentioning if the cover like hit the target and whatnot. And
Oh yes.
I did. I was also just trying to, I don't know, not go
We have
straight
fun.
into Green Arrow.
Oh no.
Fair enough.
No.
Tell us how you really feel.
That's that sounds like I greatly dislike this issue, which I did not. But I suppose we should get into it before we start talking about our opinions.
Indeed.
Green Arrow, written by Joshua Williamson with art from Sean Isaacs and Aman Kanahuelpan, colors from Romulo Fajardo Jr., and letters from Troy Pateri, with one final cover from Sean Isaacs, as this is, the end of Williamson and Isaacs' run on Green Arrow. And they bring it to a close with one last story of Green Arrow, set in the future, but kind of told from the past and working its way to the present. Basically, this story sees an older Ollie now living presumably on the island, having retired Green Arrow, and looking after who I can only assume are the children or grandchildren of his many, many sidekicks. They're all badgering Ollie to tell him a bunch of stories, but Ollie, being unchanged in the many years since hanging up the mantle, wants to take a nap and frankly does not feel like babysitting a bunch of kids right now. And that's when one of the children, again, I can only assume is one of Roy's children, given the red hair and the attitude, asks to hear a story.
I can tell you who that is because there was a panel that showed a necklace she was wearing.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's baby Andy.
What?
whoa.
That's Aquaman's daughter because she's got the Aquaman
Really?
symbol on the necklace.
Oh, sick.
Is that what that is? Interesting. Huh.
I like that. I like that a lot.
That
I
makes
couldn't
me
tell who
kinda-
anybody else is, but I noticed that.
Yeah, that makes me kind of question the Lord just as bad as your dad, because I assumed he was talking about Roy, but
Yeah,
interesting.
but I mean, Arthur also was very stern a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
Green
it's
Arrow
true.
and Aquaman don't exactly get along.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, if this is
I like
actually Andy, then that kid basically asked to hear a story about a time that Green Arrow missed. And Ollie, even though is slightly taken aback at that, decides to humor the little girl and tell them all a story about the case that got away, the mysterious villain that got away. And we see a case stretching all the way back to Ollie's very early days while he's still in his Silver Age outfit and very new to the crime fighting scene, about a mysterious arsonist who didn't quip, who was very quick with his work, or they were very quick with their work, and basically got away nearly every single time that Green Arrow came against them. And we see a bunch of different flashbacks to eras of Green Arrow, including the Bronze Age Green Arrow, the Mike Grell Longbow Hunters era, even the 90s era, which I thought was pretty funny. Kevin Smith in that homeless costume, working its way all the way up to
costume.
that's literally what it was. That's that first issue of the run when he's running around homeless.
I mean,
and that trash costume. But yeah, basically, Ollie has run-ins with this mysterious pyromaniac who the citizens of Star City later dubbed Firestarter, all the way up to basically Rebirth, where he got close to stopping Firestarter, but seemingly watched them explode atop a boat and could find no trace of them That is until we cut to very recently, when they were able to lock up one of the fire starters behind bars. But of course, the girl, who may or may not be Andy, basically calls BS on that story. And Ollie quickly reveals that he was kind of lying about that little bit. And so then reveals that even though he thought he had caught one of the fire starters, the fire starter had basically started up fires again. And Ollie had managed to narrow in 3 possible suspects: John Brock, Kurt Howard, and Finn Doyle. And teaming up with the rest of the Arrow fam, managed to catch all of them. But unfortunately, because there was no evidence, their case couldn't stick. And so all of them were released. But Ollie is a changed man. And even though he's been hunting this mysterious fire starter guy for years, he's happy. And he's pleased to just kind of let this case go and not constantly be going after it. And we get a montage of some of the proud moments from Green Arrow's life. And even though he's been through a lot of moments where he's felt lost or confused, he's kind of proud where he's ended up. And there have been some moments even in the future that we have not yet seen that he alludes to, that possibly were formative for him. But the gist of it is that throughout all the adventures that Green Arrow has been through, the ones that he's been the most proud of, as he puts it, the greatest shot he ever took was getting to spend time with his family and make a pot of chili, which is always something that the family gets to enjoy. But that's when he has a kind of a eureka moment after retelling the story, where he suddenly has solved, after all these years, has solved the fire starter case. And suddenly is like, I got to find my costume. I got to get back out there. And that's when all the kids decide to petition Uncle Ollie, or whatever they're calling him, to go and solve the case with them. And of course, he's like, well, your parents are not going to like it very much. But Ollie, being Ollie, gives in and has all of the kids team up with them and help him take down the fire starter stuff. And we cut back to the island for one last time, where we see Ollie's bow hanging by a tree, or propped up against a tree. And that's the end. It's the end of our time with Green Arrow.
He
Forever.
finally
We'll
gets
never
to
see
take
him
his
again.
nap.
Yeah, he finally gets to take his nap somewhere.
Lost
I thought this was a very pleasant send-off. Like, the main story, Joshua Williamson's main story, has ended at this point. So there's nothing really to continue, but this just felt like we just kind of want to tell one last swan song kind of story for Green Arrow. And, something that's just kind of fun and light, and also shows that, even after all these years, he's still got the attitude and he's still got the crime fighting sense. So I liked it. Great art, fun story. I gave it a 8.25 out of 10.
What do you think, Rob?
I 100% agree. It was a nice little send off, just like an epilogue almost, just to the whole run, and almost kind of a love letter from Joshua Williamson to Green Arrow and the characters and everything that came
Definitely
before
his
him.
history.
Oh God, yeah, just going through literally every single era, good or bad. And highlighting every single suit, good or bad.
Like every single
was
suit.
Really nice, yeah. With just like a one big story and ending with a nice, happy little ending of Oliver finally catching his criminal. It was nice. I liked it. What was your score, Brandon? 8.5?
8.25.
8.25. Mine is 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
I think it was a pretty typical annual story, unrelated, long enough to be a one shot and tell a story. I think it was okay. It was, I think, Williamson's look, here's just a simple Green Arrow story, and that I dug for sure. The art and colors were really great, best part of every page. They ending a little bit corny. He finally got the guy that, he finally hit the target that he missed. But altogether, really not that bad for an annual at all. 7.5 out of 10 from me.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Shazam.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a transition, but I couldn't think of one.
Yeah.
That one always
these books
works.
are kind of all over the place. So, yeah, this is Shazam number 17. This is written by Josie Campbell with art or pencils and inks from Dan McDade. More inks from Roberto Poggi on pages 11 to 19. And colors from Trish Mulvihill with letters from Troy Pateri. And the main cover from Gleb Melnikov that you see before you with Tawny.
Right.
These two just talk it out. I see what you did there.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So, I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. All right. So this
if I made that joke, Brandon would have groaned.
I would have twisted my neck. Although the funny thing is, I know it's like supposed to be a play on like talkie Tawny,
Yeah.
but all I can see when I look at this is like a really thick like New York or Italian accent.
Right, talk.
Is it just me? Talk it out.
Yeah, talk it
Yeah.
out.
Why can't these two just talk it out? You know?
I'm walking here.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right. So this one picks up
Robots.
with. Huh? You say
They're in
Romans?
Philadelphia, so their thing is saying things more like robots instead of robots.
Yeah.
Uh,
What is it? Wooder?
Wooder. Yeah. What's
Wooder?
Wooder?
I have a friend from Philly, and they always say Wooder.
It's like what? It's a Wooder. Was that another word for lumberjack?
Wood? Are you talking about wood?
That's the first time I heard that shit. I'm like, what what kind of job is a wooder? No, wooder, dude. Like wooder. No,
I mean,
that's not. You're saying that wrong.
we say that too, but it's more like a question. Like
Wooder?
that wouldn't work, would it?
I mean, maybe what they're doing.
All right, so
Shazam.
yes, it is.
Shazam, these jokes are terrible.
All right, so Freddy is talking about his new job working with the society. How the CEO has hired him to endorse the society in suit as the commander, and he's low-key kind of bragging to Billy, and Billy's getting a little bit pissed off about it.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Keeps on talking about this is not what heroes do, this is not what heroes should do, and then Freddy gets back in his face, and this is not what heroes do. I'm out there making money for the family. I'm not letting my mom give a lawsuit that's bankrupting us, potentially making us lose our family. So fuck you.
Right?
That's what I said.
Mic drop.
And then he Shazams using the green lightning bolt amber that he has around his neck, which Billy finally saw in use for the first time. He heads over to the Rock Fraternity to speak with the captain, who also saw everything. So the captain, after talking with Mr. Dinosaur, which I think that was his name, Dinosaur Accountant.
Yeah,
that's what they called him, was Mr. Dinosaur. Yes,
Mr. Dinosaur. Yeah. And finding out that after Mr. Dinosaur had not found any record of this device, despite the fact that he did catalog it, his record, well, not no record. The records predates what he has assembled. So they go to the source. The one record they do have is that it was forged by Hephaestus, the god of the forge. The captain opens a portal in the Rock of Eternity straight to his forge, and they begin their questioning. Meanwhile, as Freddy is out as the commander, doing his good deed and being a hero, Mary, meanwhile, is incognito, just investigating stuff and trying to figure out what's going on with the society. And thanks to Hoppy, they are able to be teleported inside society headquarters into some gigantic mechanical shaft, which suspiciously looks like a jet engine. Maybe. Who knows?
Could be.
Remember?
Meanwhile, with the captain, we do get to see a bit of what's inside that amber lightning bolt. And there is some kind of mysterious organism who is talking to Freddy, especially while he's in his the commander form. And it's telling him really dark things and bad deeds and provoking him and taunting him towards not necessarily being the hero that he should be. And this is when Hephaestus explains all, that the amber lightning fell from the skies in a meteor back when he was ousted from Olympus for apparently being lame. Yes.
See the leg braces on his legs?
Yeah, he got his legs broke.
Was the actual mythology reason that Hephaestus was cast out of Olympus not that dissimilar? I thought it was because he was really ugly or something. But
I think it was because he was so hard to look at or whatever.
Yeah.
He was.
Josh, you're the expert. I trust you.
He was too troll-like, I think was what it was.
Mm. I'm just going off of Percy Jackson knowledge.
No, if I'm not mistaken, and it's been a long time since I looked at it, it was too much like, what were they, the Titans? Or the enemies?
Yeah, something like that.
Hephaestus reminded them too much of the Titans. He looked too similar to like troll or ogre like, so they ousted him from Olympus.
Was it Hera specifically, or was it just all of Olympus? I remember it as being Hera for some reason.
Probably Hera. Maybe
that ousted Hephaestus?
Mm-hmm.
Hera, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure that she wouldn't have had any issues gathering a unanimous vote, however.
Yeah.
They sure do like their pretty people on Olympus.
Yeah. Fucking assholes. Anyway.
Right. They had one mediocre looking dude and they sent him to the underworld.
Yeah. All right, so Hephaestus finds this meteor which contains the weird organism. Is also getting the weird tauntings in his head, but is able to fight them off and control himself to the point that he's able to forge the meteor into the lightning bolt. And the whole focus of the lightning bolt is a test of your worthiness and your might. And if you can surpass it, you will be granted great power. But if you cannot surpass it, then you will be under the control of the lightning bolt to do whatever it desires. Mary, meanwhile, Shazams herself while inside the society headquarters, and is instead greeted by all sorts of beasties and demons and monsters, some of which have Savannah tech on their chests. So that's not good. And that's where the issue ends. Freddy is now under control of the lightning bolt because he was not able to overcome its own willpower. And poor old Uncle Dudley is right in front of him. So that's issue 17. Progressing the mystery a little bit, progressing the story. I like it. The art was really nice, fitting the story. Colors I thought were really cool. The colors looked fantastic throughout. Having the Shazam book be back to a focus of the family and having all three of these characters being a focus in their own ways, I like. Their stories are intertwining, but they all have their own focus story, and I think that's great. That's not just about Billy anymore. and we can get back to a little bit more of the old style a little bit before we get back to the more modern status quo, which hopefully maybe Eugene, Pedro, and Darla will get some Shazam powers again too, but we'll have to see.
Michelle, right now all I'm worried about is whether or not they're going to get that bug out of that Amber, because I'm certain that bug in that Amber's got something to do with him going crazy.
Oh, it definitely does. I'm curious if it has anything somehow to do with Mr. Mind, but according to
like some kind of space cousin or some shit.
Yeah.
Some space version of Mr. Mind.
Yeah.
That the Shazam family will have to turn to Mr. Mind in order to battle.
Oh dear.
Dun dun dun.
Assuming he's not assuming he's not directly involved in it, meaning they have to fight Mr. Mind to get
double of them. Double them, but they've got the 2 Mr. Minds, but they've got 3 Shazams. And 3 Shazams are better than 2 Minds, right? No? I guess we'll find out.
Something about a bird in a bush. Let's go with it.
Yeah.
Well, things are just getting a little...
Or a dinosaur in a boulder? I don't know. I'm trying to think of
in a boulder, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of some kind of prehistoric plant.
Don't use a talk. Like, don't have a dinosaur to talk to.
I'm talking here.
Yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this. The point is, the issue was good. I liked it.
A worm in the hand is worth
2 in the brain.
Shazams in the...
That's going to be running our health and human services. Yay.
Shazams in the Rock of Eternity. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, every time I hear the word worm, I'm going to get sick.
A worm in the hand is better than... No, a worm in the ear is better than a wizard in the soul.
No, that's how you get worms in the brain. I decidedly don't want that.
Why do you have worms in your hand? You should really wash your hands. That's gross.
Yeah, you should.
I mean, if they're touching you anywhere, I'm preferring it would be the hands.
He's not even a worm. He's a caterpillar.
It's like maybe fishing. I don't know. Now, things are getting a little dark in Shazamadelphia. Not too dark, but dark enough for the Shazam family. I'm really into what this...
Say it, Josh. Say it.
Say what?
Say the line, Josh.
Shazamadelphia?
Shazamly.
I will not say Shazam. I will not say anything other than they're the Shazam family.
Shazamly.
Yeah. I enjoy the story in every arc since the takeover, especially this one, and I appreciate the really good art as well, like Rob mentioned. Shazam, and hot damn, it gets an 8 out of 10.
You have so many puns for the word Shazam. Shazamadam, Shazamadelphia, but Shazamily is where you draw the line.
Shazamily is too egregious.
That's egregious. It's horrible.
It's the one that makes the most sense.
A man has to stand by his principles.
Ugh. It's not so bad. I don't have too much to add, honestly. Just really, like Rob said, enjoying that it's expanding the horizon beyond just Billy, focusing on other members of the family, especially Mary. So yeah, it's interesting. Definitely want to figure out what the mystery is behind the source of Freddy's new powers and what connection that may have to Mr. Mind or a member of Mr. Mind's species. So 8 out of 10 for me.
Hell yeah. Did I give my score? I don't think so. 8.5 out of 10 as well.
Nice.
Right on. And I mean, when this first started out, Shazam coming back, I wasn't all the way on board with it, man. But since Campbell took over, it has really grown on me. And I hope that the entire DC universe has had that happen with this book. Poison Ivy number 27, written by Glorious Willow Wilson, art from Marcio Takara and Reef Prianto colors, lettering from Hassan Asmani Helhao, and a Jessica Fong cover. Things read a little quickly in this issue, at least they did for me. Didn't feel like it when I was writing out the summary, though. With everything that's going on, picking up from last issue, Ivy and Janet have got to get out of town. The Order of the Green Knight thinks Ivy is the Green Knight, some kind of foretold, chosen vegetative Neo that will lead her followers into the light. And that's all while being hunted as an eco-terrorist by the police. But the Batman family, the Bat family, knows she's on the up and up. With Harley in her new place over on the other side of town, Ivy leads Janet and heads to that deserted town that grew up out of the swamp. They're going to hide there until everything is solved and goes back to normal, or at least that's what Ivy says. After dropping off their stuff and Janet from HR, Pam goes back out in full Poison Ivy mode looking for answers. She finds one of the members of the cult, freaks out on them, and finds out that there's a whole lot of members. She also found out that there's some woman filling their heads with all of this. The prophecy, and that woman knows about what happened with Woodrue, which is very odd. Meanwhile, back at Swamp Town, Janet is freaking out, completely scared of being in what she's afraid of is a haunted town. So she calls her buddy Croc and asks him to come over, which he does. He gets there and says, I'll show you that there's nothing to be scared of. Let's go into the sewers. That's the guts of every city. They go down, begin to look around, and they see some freaky spray-painted words reading, "We tried," on the wall. And then Janet plants a big old wet one on Croc. I kind of had a feeling that they were setting that up from last issue, the Janet and Croc thing. I think I even said something, but I freaking love it. As for the rest of the issue, I feel like the mysteries move along at a really good pace. It's not taking too long for the development to happen. The story's really cool. She's turning a new leaf, so to speak, badum-tis. And those who assume that they are following her ideals are now what she's got to work against. So that's kind of trippy. I like it. I really like it. The team is perfect on this book, and if it didn't mean that it would affect Poison Ivy, I'd want them to do a Supergirl book, a Hawkman and Hawkwoman book, a Metamorpho book, and an Omen book, and yeah, others too. But as far as this one goes, man, 9 out of 10.
So I have to ask, because we have seen, obviously, a relationship between Ivy and Harley, but also Ivy and Janet, and kind of Janet and Harley.
Right.
So we joked about the idea of them becoming a triad.
I thought that's where it was headed.
Yeah. Now that Janet's kind of coming on to Croc, could we see this triad expand into a quadruple?
No, I think it's
the answer is
stay.
Yes.
I don't think that's where it's headed. I mean, like, to have a throuple at once in a comic book would be one thing, but to go full on fucking Mormon poly, that's
And
one guy with 3 wives, that's a lot, man. That's a lot.
I don't know that Ivy or Harley would be into the idea of relations with Croc. I think they see him more as like a big brother.
Yeah, for sure.
You never know.
But you know what? It just...
Yeah. I think Janet's just trying to find herself, man.
I think it's I mean, let's take away the part where it's a normal person kissing a giant fucking lizard, and I think that the two characters make sense.
Yes.
So,
but I'm also waiting for the issue she plants one on Grundy.
No. Gross. Yeah. Could you imagine what that motherfucker smells like?
That's where you draw the line.
That's where you draw the line. Oof.
I mean, compared to it's like a guy with no lips.
Where his lips should be, but
then another dude who is a zombie that lives in swamp water.
This just
to be fair.
Josh is okay with swamp bestiality, but not swamp necrophilia.
No, that's crazy.
to be fair, it could also be more of a factor of Croc's personality, not just his appearance.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's able to see past that.
Yes.
And don't care.
But what's better than a guy that only listens to you?
and says the same thing over and over again.
Grungy.
Yeah, it's like a Chewbacca thing. Well, that's
Grungy
probably
boy.
you actually can speak Wookiee, but it's like I don't know. You'll say like whatever to Grundy, and it'll just be like born on a Monday, and you're like, oh my god, that's so wise. You're so right for saying that.
See, that's the thing is, if it was Grundy, it would have to involve Harley so she could translate.
Yeah.
Because Harley understands him, can talk to him, right?
Exactly.
One of Harley's many superpowers that get ignored. Just saying. Everybody thinks she doesn't have powers. She's got powers.
Universal like translation, or does she just know Grundy?
I think she just knows Grundy. She just has weird powers. We learned that in Teeny Howard's Friend. That made sense.
So I'm not going to go into like how my train of thought got here, but now my mind is building what kind of Pokemon team Harley Quinn would have, and
what the fuck?
Grundy's on it.
And what?
Grundy is definitely there.
On a Pokemon team?
Yes.
There's a Pokemon Grundy? Or is it Grundy Pokemon?
Close
I think it would just be a Pokemon.
Just a Pokemon, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Golurk, but we'll see. He's kind of a golem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are there zombie Pokemon?
Kind of. There's ghosts. There's a coffin. There's...
God, wait, who is that?
No,
I know
not
exactly
a
what
coffin.
you're talking about.
Sarcophagus.
Wheezing.
Wheezing. Wheezing's a literal ball of smoke.
Okay. He looks cool. He looks cooler than Coffin.
I guess. I mean, yeah.
What
do you guys give this book?
Oh, yeah. I was like, what are you going to say, Josh?
Totally forgot. I was waiting for some kind of joke.
Yeah. No, I really liked this issue. It was interesting that Janet from HR and Croc hook up at the end there. Completely threw me for a loop. I'm all for it. This whole run, this whole story is just continuing to surprise me more and more. I like it. 9 out of 10.
Nice. Yeah, I still am wanting to know what the mystery is behind this city or town that has popped up.
Yeah.
But like Rob said, well, it wasn't unexpected so much as it was like I wasn't expecting them to go there that fast, because they'd kind of been like building up the relationship between Janet and Croc in the last issue where they have that phone call together.
Yeah,
exactly. So I'm wondering where exactly this is going to lead. Are they going to go on a date in a sewer, or I don't know, go
Croc
to a
is
park or something? But yeah, no, it's good. I give it an 8 out of 10. Sorry, what were you going to say?
There's been stories where Croc has been in a relationship with human before, though, I believe.
Yeah, he was with Enchantress in Suicide Squad, if I remember correctly.
Yep, and then there was that story where him and Dick Grayson's mother had something going.
Well then, didn't see that coming.
What? What are you talking about?
Hold on.
You might be thinking of Robin and Batman, but I don't think they had anything romantic. It was just they were at the circus together.
It is Robin and Batman. Okay, they weren't in a relationship, but he was in love with her.
Mm.
Okay.
Anyway, what you're saying is, even though that book is out of continuity, we're gonna get the crocified version of Melinda Grayson coming soon.
Oh God.
I mean, we shall see, I suppose.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is we've got a girl kissing a lizard, and I'm all right with that. Weirder shit has happened this week.
Yeah.
Weirder
I don't
shit
even think
has
that's that
happened
weird.
this week.
I'm sure people kiss gators in Florida or something.
I used to kiss my snake.
There you go.
Did you give it some tongue?
No. That's
Whoa.
gross.
I mean, snakes are all tongue.
It might have given you some tongue on accident.
Snakes aren't all tongue. Their tongues are really tiny. What are you talking about?
Look. If the Crocodile Hunter's
Listen,
family
Linda.
on the Wiggles taught me anything, it's that snakes use their tongues for everything.
But they're not big. You said they were big.
Sense and the smell and like to a certain degree sight. Like if it's gonna kiss you, it's gonna throw you some tongue.
No, it is a boop.
But they're not. I mean, they're not super thick. I mean, maybe the cobras
kisses.
are, but I thought they're like kind of
They are.
like long. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering my.
I had a
Snake
very
anatomy.
large albino corn snake.
That's funny. I got a
Very
burn on my
large
hand because of
albino
a
corn
corn
snake.
snake.
It was. He was about 3 feet long and pretty thick. I can't remember how big around thick. But his name was Mr. Crowley, and he walked around with me everywhere. He hung around on my shoulders. It was when I lived in Las Vegas, and he absolutely loved walking around everywhere, going into stores. He just loved it. He sat there and he was a world watcher. Coolest fucking snake ever.
Nice.
Yeah, corn snakes are cool.
Hell yeah, he was huge. And the albino ones where they're like, they've got like that marbled yellow to white coloring going all over in them and fucking red eyes. Oh, they're so cool.
And this might be a weird question, but would you ever keep the skins that they'd shed, or would you throw them away?
I would leave them in there just a little bit to see if they wanted them.
Sound like Dennis from It's Always Sunny.
That's a little weird. I'd leave them in there for a day and to see if they wanted them to eat them for the protein or whatever, the shit that they'd get out of it. But if it wasn't gone in a day, then I'd take it out, whatever was left.
Yeah.
But no, I never took it out and collected it myself. You weird boy, you.
Not because I wanted to do it. I was just wondering.
Nope.
Sure.
Nope, never saved snake skin.
Oh my god.
He's like, I collect it from my friends. It's weird, man. Don't tell people that. All right, man. So those jokes got a little out of sight.
Yeah.
Did we all give our score?
I believe we did.
Yes.
Okay, then I will stop attacking Brandon like a bird of prey.
I was gonna make some kind of joke about hiding your snake because our next book might come after it. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I feel like something might be coming after my snake.
Anyway, Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey number 15, written by the amazing Kelly Thompson, with art from Sami Basri, colors from Adriano Lucas, and letters from Clayton Cowles. Continuing from the cliffhanger in our last issue, we see Cassandra Cain disguised as the mysterious Shen underneath the Ninth Day Corporation, looking at some of the Amazons that are being kept under watch and experimentation.
Looking cool as hell, too.
Looking very cool in a slick, all-white suit and sunglasses and everything. But Shen, also Cassandra, has had enough of this operation and decides to lash out at the members of the Ninth Day, but not before she succumbs to the gas that is released at the time. And even though she is able to kind of momentarily block the smoke, with a cloth over her mouth. She kind of ends up getting clipped by one of the gunshots and unfortunately falls.
Oh,
prey
nasty.
them. It was nasty. Back at the BOP headquarters, the Birds of Prey are waiting to hear back about whatever the hell is going on at Ninth Day in Cass's undercover mission, but still haven't heard anything, and they are all kind of starting to worry, though none nearly as much as Barda, who honestly isn't worried so much as she's just pissed off that they haven't heard anything and is like, I'm not waiting around here. So Dinah decides to go and check in on her, make sure she's okay. Babs, of course, is like, make sure you do that from a, safe distance so you don't get your head ripped off.
And then everybody else does the same thing.
Everyone else is like, yeah, like
one at a time too, not all like,
distance.
listen to her. Like one at a time, they all tell her.
So Dinah makes her way over to Barda, briefly talking to Sin, basically just saying we should have a talk after I check in with Barda, and basically says to Barda, I know you care about Cass. We're all worried about her, but she wouldn't be on this team if she wasn't one of the most exceptional superheroes and fighters in this universe. And for that, you shouldn't worry about her. And in fact, it might even be a little bit patronizing to worry about her to that extent. She can handle it. She's a bird of prey. She's a bat. She's got this. And kind of gives Barda something to consider, hopefully alleviating the stress a little bit. Dinah also checks in with Sin, and it just kind of wants to see where her head is at. Sin is a little upset that she's kind of been reduced to the backup team and everything that's going on. But Dinah is really just doing it as a safety precaution, considering everything that happened in the alternate dimension that they were in. But also gives her something to think about in that she doesn't want to be a superhero. She doesn't have to be. There's so many different things that you could do with your life, even though you are still getting a handle on living with Megra as a part of your body. But there's nothing wrong with just slowing down and trying to get a handle on your life. So really just giving Dinah a good moment, to show her leadership skills. We cut back to the rest of the Birds of Prey as they're playing some video games. And of course, Barda is mopping the floor with poor Onyx.
Barda don't lose.
Barda does not lose, especially not at fighting games. Grace is up next, but my guess is she's probably going to get shellacked in whatever fighting game this is too.
Right.
But we cut back to the Ninth Day where Cass is now in a cell and quickly works to try and escape, which she does, but not before the members of whatever board of the Ninth Day that were working with Cass earlier in her undercover disguise try and go after her. But she manages to dodge them too. And Zane, one of the aforementioned members of the council, decides that there's another way to deal with this, and that is to release some mysterious beast that will be able to go after Cass. Something which one of the other members is a little iffy about, given that the nature of this beast seems to be a little bit unstable. But as Cass is slowly trying to figure out the best way to escape, he comes face to face with the mysterious beast known as Bella. And that's where our issue ends. Just Bella, not like Subject X or whatever.
But no. It's like Beauty and the Beast. It's Bella and the Beast all in one person.
Bella, the Beast. Except Bella is literally the Beast.
Yeah, instead of being the other character.
This issue's great.
Even I saw that. I think we've been talking about Disney too much in our Discord yesterday.
It could be possible, although I don't know what kind of conversations you guys have been having about Disney. Anyway, no, this issue is great. Loving this arc, especially. I mean, Kelly Thompson's voice for Dinah was already pretty strong, like from the first issue, but you just get moments like in this issue where it's just like, oh, it's so good. And it's so satisfying to see Dinah, I guess, step up. Not that she hasn't been a leader in the past, but really just take those moments to be like, no, I gotta check in with my team and give them the pep talk that they need and just, help them like a leader would do. So it's great. And I'm all for that stuff and excited to see how the hell Cass gets out of whatever situation she's in. So yeah, this book is great. 8.75 out of 10. Almost tempted to give it a 9. Just continually is one of my favorite books. And the art is great, but that goes without saying. Sami Basri does a phenomenal job, as always.
Oh, man.
Hell yeah, he does.
Well, what about you?
I thought you were going to go first.
I am not my Canadian compatriot.
But I insist, my American friend. I am, excuse me, really digging it. I was worried for Cass quite a lot. But sure enough, Cass gonna come out of there okay. We know for sure because her own solo series just started this week. So
and also,
we know Cass is gonna come out of it okay because she is the most technically
fucking Cass Kane.
Exactly.
Yes, Bat
She's
family
the
member
most
that
badass
there
character.
is.
Yeah.
Period. She
Not
is
the
a
best
better Batman
Batgirl, mind
than
you, but
Batman.
Still pretty good.
She's the best. She's by default the best Batgirl when she's a better Batman than Batman.
Exactly.
I mean, fighting skills are one thing, but
She's
that
a
doesn't
damn good
automatically
detective
win you
too.
the trophy in my book.
She's a damn good detective too, and a human lie detector, just like Bruce.
Yeah. She knows her stuff. So
I'm just saying,
And
man.
thus began the great Batgirl debate of 2024.
Oh,
not,
yes.
I don't think
Okay.
it's much of a
Okay.
debate
Okay.
if we all agree.
I don't.
Brandon
You
does
don't?
not agree
Yes.
that Cassandra Cain is the best Batgirl.
Not in my opinion.
No.
Right?
Oh,
But my opinion is weird.
Gonna be
so,
Barbara.
Yeah. It's not. It's Steph.
Oh, you think it's you do
I-
think it's Steph? I know you're a major Steph fan. I just
Okay,
did not
okay.
think that was your favorite
I
Batgirl.
won't go too in depth with it, but
sit back and have a chocolate. And
my judgment is pretty much based entirely on their runs. And the Cass Kane run on Batgirl is spectacular. It's like one of the best runs of a DC comic out there. But I'm sorry, the Brian Q. Miller, Stephanie Brown Batgirl run just gave me so much more joy that I have to give it to Steph. Like I can't look at that book without smiling. There's not a lot of books that can do that.
Fair enough. The ones that hit you hard are the ones you gotta love the most.
Mhm.
For sure.
I mean, with Brian Q. Miller, I don't blame you.
Right. Good stuffs.
Yeah. Well, as for this iteration of Cassandra Cain, hella dope.
Yep.
The team dynamic is fun. I like it. It feels like we're finally getting back to like a classic Birds of Prey status. The whole team building scenario is kind of past its height right now, and now we're getting back to like an actual team.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I love it. The art is really good. The story is interesting. It's connecting well with the rest of the DC universe in slightly unexpected ways. I like it. It's 8.75 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, besides being absolutely gorgeous in the art and colors, and I mean absolutely gorgeous, the story continues to be a good one. The dynamics between the team members, and the story itself are all being handled really well, and it's definitely keeping me interested. It doesn't take a detective to see that the birds keep banging. 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Speaking
Also,
of
I just
detectives.
love having Onyx and Grace Choi on this team.
All right. Yeah.
Yes, abso-fucking-lutely.
I don't know how long they're going to stay, but I'm so here for it.
I'm here for the whole run, man.
I hope they stay as long as possible.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. So, detectives were said. Batman is here. It's issue 154. Legacy 919, supposedly. It's the
Right.
Dying City Part 2. I think it's the penultimate chapter for Chip Zdarsky, if not the ultimate chapter. I don't remember.
Not quite. They still have like
it's like this
3
arc
more
is the
issues.
end of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just this arc, but I don't think he's done till 157.
Right. All right, so Dying City Part 2. This is written by Chip Zdarsky with art from Carmine DeG and Domenico. Colors from Tomu Mori and letters from Clayton Cowles, with the cover before you from Jorge Jimenez and Tomu Mori. And it just dawned on me, I always say the cover in front of you there for people watching the stream, but for the people listening to the podcast.
Yeah, well, then, maybe you... Oh, well, if you're listening on Spotify, you get to see it. Everywhere else is just audio.
Right. I forgot we do the video on Spotify. Still,
Indeed we do.
If you're listening audio only, make sure you have the comic in your hands as we review it. So
that works great.
We can read it with you.
Yes. So you see other shit we're loving and not quite loving.
Yeah. Makes more sense with visual representation. But anyway, the mayor has died, and I just got a fucking ad on my screen. Bastards. Okay, so the mayor was shot right in the heart. He is now dead, and the GCPD are there to investigate.
You have a shot in the heart cue, Josh?
Damn. I should have.
Missed opportunity right there.
Slacking. Yes, that was. Now hiring sound engineers that are willing to work for free.
You said that, Rob, and that was like the first thing that popped into my head.
Yep. You said that, and the first thing that went through my head was, yeah, I missed it.
Yeah, we missed it, and you're to blame.
I am.
No.
Damn it.
You give love a bad name.
Sometimes.
Oh no.
Hey, not as bad as Batman, though. Not as bad as Batman.
Yeah. Batman. So, speaking of Batman, he's on the scene with Jim Gordon, who are there to do their own little investigation, but Bullock comes outside to meet them before they get in. Explains that they're going to be there a while, and he can go in right after they're done. Just keep a quiet lid on it, because if anybody finds out what I'm doing and helping you, gonna get in a lot of shit. I should be arresting you right now, so just shut up. Batman then asks some questions to the mayor's personal assistant, who is just left with tears and doesn't understand what's happened, and drops one name that potentially could be an enemy. Leonid Cull, a very strange man that made Chris very nervous. And at that point, Batman takes his leave. And then Bullock at GCPD's headquarters is interrogating the mayor's wife. I'm trying to remember his last name now, but now I don't fucking remember. Yes, Nakano, thank you. Mayor Nakano's wife. And Batman has set up... What?
I'm laughing at you. I said Nakano, and
then
you said
I laughed at that too.
It's like,
I know.
And then you said
Nakano,
then you said Nakano, right? And then you said, and then when you went on to say it, you went on to say it like a Canadian.
I'm saying, because it's gonna be weird, but blame Digimon for my pronunciation.
Blame. I mean, okay.
Because they
blame Digimon for a lot of things, but sure.
Yeah. Because there's an area in whatever city they were in the original series spelled Nagano, and the PA on the train in the American dub said Nagano, and that got stuck in my head. So I see that, but the G is replaced with a K, so I think it's Nakano.
It is Nakano.
Yeah.
No,
isn't Nagano a city in Japan?
You said Nakano.
It is Nakano.
Yeah, so
Nakano.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I don't know.
I think I'm right.
I don't know. This whole time I've been saying Nakano because of Digimon, but again, that was American dub in the 90s. It was never good. So I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm not going to go into this. We're going to get distracted. But
Yeah.
Rob, you're not wrong.
Okay.
Because Nagano is a real city, and I just looked up the pronunciation, and apparently that is right. So
it is Nagano. Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I've been saying it wrong.
I mean, when
That's
he first
unfortunate.
came onto the screen, I said Nakano as well, and then I remembered that scene from Digimon. I'm like, maybe it's Nakano. And then it just got stuck in my head, and I haven't. This whole time, I've been saying Nakano.
And you've been watching Digimon in your head.
Rob is always watching.
Do you not?
Digimon. Rob watches
doesn't everybody
on loop.
Oh, that's
on
just
loop.
me.
Rob has Digimon and Green Lantern, the animated series, on constant loop in his head at all times.
And Futurama.
And Futurama, yes, and Futurama.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't?
And Beast.
I don't.
Oh wait, that's just. Oh crap! I think I might need to see a doctor.
I have an animated TV station just on my head throughout the day.
I ain't fucking playing Boomerang.
Yeah.
Or I guess no. I'm sorry. You'd be Cartoon Network.
I'm fucking Cartoon Network in my head. Teletoon for the Canuckers.
Teletoon.
Canuckers.
Yeah, good old Canuckers, Harry.
Fucking.
Speaking of canon and cartoons, you know what just came out this year? Sorry,
What's
quick
up?
little tangent.
Batman 154.
My favorite cartoon.
The video game.
What?
The video game?
Yeah.
What?
This year, brand new video game for fucking Totally Spies, a 15-year-old cartoon.
Why are they
When
making
the-
Totally Spies content in the year of our Lord 2024?
In the year of our Lord 2024.
Yeah.
You know,
Praise Jesus.
I don't
swear
get
to
it.
God.
I don't know, but it looks like a fun time.
Ugh.
Maybe
Like,
that's a spoiler
$20,
that there's a
good
reboot
time?
coming.
Not like $60 price tag like it currently is, but like $20,
Yeah.
$30 good time, sure.
Yeah.
Just
Man, I used to love Totally Spies.
it was a fun show.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Mayor Nakano's wife is being interrogated by Humphrey Bullock. Batman had set up a wiretap inside, complete with video feed, and has sent it to Jim, who is conveniently stationed right outside the police station, watching the interrogation with full audio. You'd think maybe somebody might notice, but he's confident. But then in walks Vandal Savage, who then teases him a little bit about wanting a job and maybe traffic cops are hiring, but he brushes him off quite well. And Jim kind of just lets it go. But then we go over to Edward Nigma, who was having dinner with Leonid Cull and the deputy mayor, who was now the actual mayor. Leonid and Nigma are gloating about having the mayor killed. So now the deputy mayor is the real mayor, and all their plans can come to fruition because the new mayor is not going to give them the runaround. Right?
Maybe.
Nudge, nudge.
No guarantees.
No guarantee. Well, as far as they're concerned, it's going to be a fucking guarantee. But then Batman crashes that party, and they instantly brush him off and say, "We know nothing about the murder. We didn't kill him." Which, to be fair, they probably didn't. Doesn't mean they're not guilty. But then a bunch of police officers show up and point guns at Batman and try to arrest him. But he's Batman. It doesn't work. He takes them out in swift movements, one with a wine bottle, and then notices a button on one of the police officers' shirts, rips it off, looks at it, and realizes it has the insignia of the Court of Owls, who then tosses that button to Leonid Cull and reveals that now he realizes that Leonid Cull is the leader of the Court of Owls, and now everything is beginning to make sense. So then Batman heads over to the morgue to do the autopsy on Chris Nakano's body. Apparently he's got a really good rapport with the resident autopsy what are they called? Coroner. With the resident coroner there, and whatever he finds is going to give to the coroner for his report. So it's all good there. Then he has a brief little meeting with his assistant of what's going on with this mysterious new sibling coming onto the scene, buying up the shares. The assistant says maybe it's best just to let the shares be bought or be sent to this person claiming to be your sibling, and then you just buy them back. But Bruce wants to get a little bit closer to the truth and figure out what the frig is going on, because it wouldn't be the first time somebody's pretended to be a sibling, and we're not talking about Lincoln March.
Right.
So Bruce goes to pay a visit to Leslie Tompkins, who was working at Gotham Hospital, or Gotham General, at the time that his father was stationed there. And she does reveal that he did have a little affair with a nurse. His mother knew about it, but they were able to work through it. It was a rough patch, but things got better. But then before they could go any further with this conversation, the free clinic that Leslie Tompkins upholds is now attacked by protesters. Protesters that hate Bruce Wayne and Wayne Enterprises and think that he is the one causing all this nonsense in the city and crime and shit going wrong. And basically, picture January 6th. But at a free fucking clinic.
Right.
Yeah. So then, just as Bruce is about to be attacked by a protester, or shot by a protester because he stopped another protester from attacking a little girl who just got her arm fixed, in comes Commander Starr to not only save Bruce Wayne's life, but also disband the protesters, and everybody goes on their merry way. Then Batman, later that night, heads to the mayor's mansion, finds Jim there, and they are beginning to do their own inspection of the premises. Batman finds a few moments of information. Sorry, a few bits of evidence. What I'm trying to say, a lone statue on the mantle. While it was placed back, it was placed off center. Does not match the dust pattern. There was clearly a struggle. It seemed to be non-intentional at first, and there were signs on Chris Nakano's hands that he was able to get a punch in on the assailant's face before things went horribly wrong and he got shot in the chest. With all that said, Jim Gordon then goes to the other room to find a bottle of bleach because it was Bruce also discovered Batman also discovered traces of bleach under Mayor Nakano's hands, under his fingernails rather. And then when Jim gets back, I don't know why I keep wanting to say Dick Grayson. Jim gets back, we then see a bruise underneath his eye, and then points a gun at Batman, whimpering that he didn't intend to, didn't know what happened. He was defending himself, and Batman gets a little pissed off, says, "You dare point a gun at me?" Punches Jim right in the face. Batman realizes what he's done. Oracle's been talking to him. Things are going to shit. Oh no, it wasn't Oracle. Sorry, it was Harvey Bullock is talking to him. Things are going to shit, and that's where the issue ends. So Jim Gordon might have killed the mayor. We don't know why. We don't know what happened. We don't even know why he was there. But that's a bit of a twist. I'll say this: not the first time that Jim Gordon has been used as a plot device of being a murderer and killing somebody. I don't want to believe that this is true, but if it was the same deal as, say, back before the Joker Who Laughs, where he was under some kind of mind, it was Batman Eternal, I think it was, when he was under some kind of deep mind control. I don't want it to necessarily be the same thing, but I also don't want Jim Gordon to just be like full on, oh, I killed somebody. Killed the fucking mayor in self-defense. Like that just feels like character assassination to me, but we'll see what happens. It's a heavy issue. It's very interesting. I'm curious when we're going to get more to the mystery of Bruce's potential half-brother. Like we're getting bits at a time, and there's more story to be told here with Enigma and Leonid Cull and the Court of Owls. It just feels like this whole story, while they dropped the bombshell last issue, is still like the B plot to this whole arc of Bruce's potential half-brother, which is probably going to end up being a patsy for all we know, or end of is going to be Commander Star. I don't know. We'll see. But there's a lot of mysteries still to be solved and a lot of answers to be had. But the art is fantastic. The story is still quite interesting. I think it's a really good mystery, and it's a mystery we've been craving for Batman for a while, I think. So I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Well, right on, man. There was a lot of wow, what in the hell? Mm-hmm. I'm thinking I'm reading a really, really good Batman whodunit, and then it takes a turn that I didn't think I'd see again in modern comic books, at least not. It caught me off guard, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's crazy. I can't wait to find out what happens next. Bruce's brother, Jim Gordon, everything in between. I really don't know what else to say except I really need to read the rest of this story. I hope that Batman continues to be just as good when Zdarsky and team leaves the book. But the story here, the art's great, but the story's the star, and it's one hell of a ride. 8.5 out of 10. For sure.
7.5 for me.
No.
It's fine. I don't know. It just feels a little all over the place. Like I honestly, I'd kind of forgotten about it until you were doing the summary again, and I realized how many different plot threads there are. Because you have this whole mystery with, another Wayne sibling, plus the Court of Owls stuff, plus the whole, like, Bruce Wayne is a communist plot, which kind of reminded me of when everyone was calling Bruce a DZ after the No Man's Land stuff ended. There was like the DZs versus the OGs. It's not important, but you have that plus Commander Star, plus it just feels like a lot. So I don't know. It felt almost like we're just trying to cram all the extra Batman ideas we have after we finished all the failsafe stuff into this issue. And maybe I didn't realize that in the last issue, but it really kind of shows itself in this one to the point where it feels just too cluttered, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's all wrapping and pulling together to be like, okay, the Court of Owls is all behind it, and I think Rob's likely onto something there with Commander Steel being Bruce's supposed brother.
If it were the Court of Owls was behind it all, that would be such a lame ending. I really hope they don't do that. Like, I understand it being an element of the story, but I don't know. And also, I'm kind of like, they already had the perfect Court of Owls story. Do you really need another, they're the phantom members of the city? I don't know. I have a controversial take on the Court of Owls as a villainous entity that we can discuss later.
Well,
that sounds like an episode unto itself.
Yeah.
As long as I think it's a reasonable request that any discussion pro and con concerning the Court of Owls has to leave out the Rick Grayson shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's very much a part of it.
That's definitely. I'll just say like that stands with my theory about there's certain villains or characters in history that like they peaked in their first story, and ever since then anything else just hasn't held up as much.
I agree.
Yeah,
I completely agree.
Like, I don't remember what my list was. I just remember Bane was on it.
You had a number of them.
Yeah.
I think that most of them were wrong. Although I can't remember what the list is either. I remember disagreeing with a few of them.
Yeah.
That's okay, though. We're not always right.
Yeah, you're not always
It's
right.
my line.
Anyway.
Well, you weren't using it. I just saw it. I just saw it laying there. All right. Okay. So wait, did you give your? Well, yeah, you gave the summary. Okay. Well, I guess Action Comics it is then. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Action Comics 1074, written by Mark Waid, art from Clayton Henry and Michael Shelfer with colors from Matt Herms. Lettering by Dave Sharp and a cover from Henry with Tomu Mori colors on that. Phantoms Part 5. So there's a strange turn of events in here. Superman's on Krypton, picking up from last issue. He needs his solar battery bracelets recharged and knows of only one scientist to seek out on Krypton. He finds his parents even younger than he is. That was a bit of a shock, though kind of cool. This is the time where Jor-El has begun to warn the Science Council that the planet's core was becoming unstable and the planet would explode. While Clark is there finding out that all of this is going on, and his dad was indeed a brilliant scientist, just a rather fringe one, like as the book describes it, the Willy Wonka of Kryptonian science. Like, it works, he knows what he's doing. It's just, it's weird. Roseanne, the leader of the Science Council, storms into Jor-El's laboratory and starts taking stuff, including Superman's power bracelets. You know what? If it's weird, I'm going to have to pronounce it laboratory. He storms into Jor-El's laboratory and starts taking stuff, including Superman's power bracelets. Clark tries to stop him, but he gets knocked out, and the three of them get placed under arrest. Meanwhile, Khan Kanan and Superboy are mounting an unsuccessful defense against the Khund, who showed up at the museum that they are at, well, being held at, looking to reclaim some property that they had stolen by these dipshit museum collectors, and it doesn't look good. I guess hop into the Supergirl backup? Or do you guys have some comments on actions? Hop in? Okay. Supergirl and Again, written by Mariko Tamaki, art from Skylar Patridge, with colors from Marissa Louise, and lettering by Becca Carey. Okay, Kara and the prisoner are aboard this big alien ship. They were both taken off of the little itty-bitty planet that she found the prisoner on, and it's a high-dollar auction is taking place while she's being held prisoner. With the help of the dead judge's droid, Kara is able to escape her confinement and immediately heads after the prisoner. As she busts through the cell to free the prisoner, the mask that the prisoner is wearing starts to display this symbol that's on the screen. A voice is heard, and the prisoner says no in reply. The voice says, "I have found you, and our work is not over. We will be one once more." That doesn't sound great for Kara, but it does make me even more curious if Rob is right about this possibly being Matrix. I'm going to go ahead and pretend that DC listens to her podcast again, because I mean, we were just talking about this, and I think we talked about it again a few months prior to that. Even if it's not Matrix, I am really curious who this could be, Matrix or otherwise, where this story goes, and if it will carry on beyond the backup in this issue. I really can't wait to find out. For me, the whole book altogether continues to be a winner, both in art and story across the board. I think the main story has been great so far. The issue lost a bit of its comic strip feel this time. It still reads really well, though, and the story, I think, is moving along just nicely. The art is fantastic, and I feel like anything could be coming next issue, and I can't wait to read it. The whole thing, 8 out of 10.
All I can say is Clarky McKent, Back to the Future is his family. Except his wife, his mom doesn't hit on him. If you like Back to the Future,
I'm glad that didn't happen. It would have been very awkward considering they have a child together.
Yeah.
Or her and Jor-El do, at least.
It honestly, this whole thing had like full on Back to the Future Part 1 vibes. Down to the fucking story beats. I can't wait for Clark having to go to the Science Council and play some classic rock to distract them from something. I don't know. End of like,
you guys may not appreciate it, but your kid. Oh wait.
Kids are gonna love it.
Kids are gonna love it. Wait, no, Krypton's gonna explode in like 2 years.
Your kid's gonna love it, and your kid's gonna love it. The rest of y'all kids, we'll talk later. But it's cool. I like it. To be honest, I couldn't stop thinking about the Back to the Future parallels. It felt like a Back to the Future ripoff or an homage. I don't know. But like when you're doing stories like that, there's only so many ways you can tell it and it not feel like Back to the Future. So I liked it. I really like it. It's interesting.
Great
and I'm
Scott.
Very curious how he's gonna get out of this one.
Is that your Doc Brown impression?
It's my Doc Brown is very, very, very poor.
That's the Kandorians, Marty. They found us.
Kandorians. Marty. I don't know how they found us, but they found us.
Oh, God. The only way to get back to the future is to fly at 88 miles an hour.
Where we're going, we won't need roads.
Something's gotta be done about your kids.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
all right.
I know something's got to be done about my kid, Dad. You're the one that did it.
Yeah. You're the one that took him halfway across the universe and lost him.
This is your fault.
I do hope that hopefully sometime next issue, Mark Waid does a bit of a throwback reference and mentions how just polite his dad is here, and when he's like older, 30 years from now, he's just a total fucking dick. And he's like, what the hell happened to this guy?
Well, planetary destruction will do that to you.
Yeah. He's way different from when I met him as Oz. Yeah.
That is nice. What? It was such a douche when I met him.
I was just about to leave. And by the way, when you meet your grandson of the future, don't lose him.
All right.
Don't.
Please.
Keep a close eye on him.
So I'm telling you now, no vacations with my kids.
Yeah. Supergirl backup. It's interesting. It's still progressing as it's progressing. Like Josh said, I'm kind of doubling down on my whole Matrix theory. I did not think it had any weight whatsoever, but I think it's got some weight now. Just based on the dialogue from the prisoner, feels very familiar. So
there could be some link between the two.
Yeah. Like they have some history and then some connection, and they could be one again, I think is exactly what the prisoner said. So who knows? We'll see. Yeah. So 8.75 out of 10 for this issue.
Nice indeed. And since I didn't do it before, I think I'm going to go ahead and pause for a commercial real quick.
Oh, hell yeah.
Before we handle the remaining 3 issues, all of which are number 1s.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's good.
Yeah, commercial break at the 2-hour mark. They said it couldn't be done, but we proved them wrong.
we proved them wrong.
Now back to our program.
I had that.
So if you've been waiting 2 hours to go to the bathroom,
now is the time.
What's
Your
wrong
fault.
with you? We're on your phone. You can take us with you.
Get over it. It's only an hour and a half late.
Yeah.
There's no justice. I'm telling you.
We live in a society.
I know. I'm sorry. It's a poor time to eat a
here in America.
Oh, good to it.
There is no justice in society.
America,
Oh, man.
It's wunderbar. We are living in America.
Is that a song?
Okay, my.
That's from
Living in America.
Oh my God, the hell's it? Rammstein.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, not everything they did was great, right?
It was that and Uh-Ohs was maybe the only 2 songs I really enjoyed.
Fantastical.
Yeah.
All right, JSA.
Yes.
Brought to us
JSA,
by
number
Brandon.
1. My time has come. JSA number 1, first issue in a hopefully new and long series featuring our beloved Justice Society of America, written by, still can't believe it, have to slap myself every now and then to believe it is true, but written by none other than Jeff Lemire, with art from Diego Olortegui, colors from Luis Guerrero, and letters from Steve Wands, with a gorgeous cover from Diego Olortegui and I think also Luis Guerrero. Let me double check that.
Regardless, it's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, very great profile shot of the team. But our issue starts with a brief little recap of the JSA's, I guess, history, both that they were the first team in history and that they emerged exactly when society needed them at the dawn of World War II, and that every hero that has come after them has always been inspired by them, and that there have always been new generations to follow them. But the JSA is also known for being a family, and as I'm sure many people can understand, families can be torn apart, and our omniscient narrator is wondering that if the JSA kind of started everything, could they possibly be the ones to end everything, or that everything will end with them as well? So that's our opening. We cut over to St. Roche, Louisiana, home of Hawkman and apparently Cobra, who are on the run from some kind of museum or something. And they have some kind of mission that they're running from, but they're still kind of frightened, or at least one of them is very frightened about something. And the other one is kind of asking, what the hell is going on? We got to complete this mission. Otherwise, Cobra is going to cut our heads off. And unlike Hydra, we will not be replaced. We'll be gone. But the mysterious thing that has been chasing them this entire time is apparently the shadows, which we quickly see belong to Obsidian. And that's when he is kind of interrogating them about, what Cobra's movements are, what these mysterious attacks are about, and what was their target. And that's when one of the soldiers reveals that it was the secret museum. And he gets promptly shot in the head by the other Cobra soldier, who also tries to take his own life, but is quickly stopped by Jesse Quick. Obsidian, gross. But Obsidian is not pleased and wants more information out of this Cobra grunt, so is quickly manipulating his shadows to get inside of his brain before Jade stops him and kind of chides him for going too far, saying that she is the chair of the Justice Society. What? When did that happen? I thought it was Power Girl. Anyway, we cut over to the brownstone where the JSA is looking a little smaller of late, and conveniently, or perhaps not conveniently, the title card above the Justice Society table scene that we see says Infinity Inc., because that's basically what this team is.
Right.
So Infinity Inc. is calling the shots of the JSA now. They have been pushed into leadership and don't seem to be handling it all that well, because they're all at each other's throats, and they're very mad because the rest of the JSA has gone missing. They don't know what the fuck's going on. All we know is that Alan Scott, Ted Grant Wildcat, Jay Garrick the Flash, Hawkgirl, Hawkman, Dr. Fate have all gone missing, and Jakeem Thunder is very injured, and his recovery has been slow going. And everyone is mad. Jesse's mad at Rick, and Rick is mad at Jesse, and Yolanda is mad at everyone, and Jade is mad at Obsidian, and everyone is mad at each other, and the team is barely holding on.
Right? It's basically a whole lot of fuck you, fuck you,
a lot of
fuck you, you're cool,
I hate yous, and
fuck you, fuck you.
You can't tell me what to do, and you're not the boss of me. And
who's
and Jade's
coming
like, I
with
literally
me?
am. So Sand suggests that they should bring in some reserve members of the JSA, but Jade.
Whoop, Brandon, we lost you.
Your audio's gone. Brandon. Uh-oh.
He's looking around, so I think he's trying to figure out what's up.
Brandon. I think his headphones died.
Oh. Oh, that didn't work.
We can't hear you.
Nope. Well, you know, I feel like I may have taken that commercial just a minute or two too soon.
Yes, it's all your fault, Josh.
It is. It's all my fault. I feel as though the stream has become disgruntled with me. I apologize to everybody. I have just ruined the show. Driven it right into the dirt. No,
damn it, Josh, you had one job,
guys. I had one job.
Yeah. Damn it, Rob, you had one job.
And damn it, Rob, you had one job. You're supposed to be the torchbearer.
Well, ever since I got my ring cut off, I don't know.
When did you get your ring? Oh, you did get your ring cut off.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I know. I wasn't happy about it, but you got to do what you got to do.
You need to go find yourself a manhunter and make your own damn ring.
But Josh, I have one right here.
Oh my God! Then there's no excuse.
It didn't work.
Fly your ass over to Brandon's and help him out. Green Lantern's light, motherfuckers.
God, if only it were that easy. I wish I could fly.
Right? Imagine all the time it would save.
It'd be great.
Do we got Big B Randon back? We do not.
Oh.
Oh no.
Well then. In the interest of saving audio time, let's jump into Absolute Superman. We'll put a pin in JSA for now. Why am I scrolling away from the credits? All right, so our next Absolute book is Absolute Superman. This is Last Dust of Krypton, Part 1, Down in the Dirt. This is written by Jason Aaron with art from Rafa Sandoval, colors from Ulysses Areola, and letters from Becca Carey with the cover from Sandoval and Areola. And it's a heck of a cover.
I'm telling you, dude, like, there are 14 different variant covers, and then there's like 6 different versions of those variant colors that are virgins, and every single freaking one of them is gorgeous. Like hold on one second. I want you to take a look at this.
Oh.
Click that.
I thought you were gonna put it on screen.
Oh, I could do that, huh? I could have put it on Discord.
The other covers, right? Which cover are you referring to? Because it just sent me to like the week's books.
All right, so go up to the filter.
What am I filtering
and then take off. It should be defaulted for all publishers. Take that off.
Oh, I have Absolute Superman. I have Absolute Superman on my screen right now. But which cover are you talking about?
Oh, all of them.
Oh, okay.
I mean, how do you see all of the? Do you see all of them?
Yeah, Matteo Scalera foil is awesome. I like that second printing for Rafa Sandoval. Jim Lee is really good. Tyler Kirkham might be my favorite.
That's what I'm saying, man. And then that
Trompe Mayer's one.
I like
Scotty Young.
Clayton Crane is just bad ass looking, dude. There's something about it's just him and then nothing. It's so awesome.
Yeah,
but
that's a really cool cover.
That Jim Lee is that Jim Lee. I can't decide between
Brandon.
No, Brandon didn't draw one.
No, but Brandon's here.
Oh, is Brandon here? Brandon.
I brought him in, but I can't hear him.
Still can't turn on mic for some reason.
Okay.
Is it in the settings here
Hell, even the Wes Craig variant is pretty cool.
They are. It is. The Kirkham one, Jim Lee, I can't decide which one I like better, period. And I have to rope in the black and white versus the color too. Like, the black and white one is just gorgeous. I like the colored one, but the black and white Jim Lee is so sexy. And then that Chris Claren one, or Crane one, that's probably my top three. John Boy Myers, there's just so many that looks awesome. So many that look awesome.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'll jump into the book for now. All right, so years ago, 9 million light years from Earth, on a planet called Krypton, it was ruled by cities. This version of Krypton essentially is ruled by a caste system, where the ruling class is the Science League. They are the clerics of the entire planet. They wear a sun insignia on their chest. They are the ones that make all the decisions and have helped Krypton prosper for all the years that it has, including using the rare ore, the sunstone that exists within the planet, to factor all their various technologies and science to be made. However, there is another class of people, the working class, which wear an S shield insignia on their chest, and they are lower grade, lower down on the totem pole. And they're the ones working in the mines, doing the farming, doing the cleaning, etc. These people include
blue collar
elves. Yeah, the blue collar people. This includes the L family. However, both Jor-El and Lara Lorvain were both at one point highly respected science class people, but were kicked out for thinking too far outside of the box and were laughed out of any potential science league they could have joined. and then were left to be part of the working class instead. And that is where our story
Basically
picks up.
Nice. Okay.
There we go.
Hey,
Awesome.
here you go.
Brandon is back. All right. Yeah.
All
So
right.
they basically got laughed out of it because
Yeah.
because she was criticizing their morals, and him because he was criticizing their decision making.
Yes, that their decisions about mining the planet could potentially be catastrophic, and nobody believed him. So his new role, Jor-El's new role, is to now be an inspector for the mines.
Hold on, just so
potential-
Brandon knows, Rob, because we didn't know how long the technical difficulty was going to last, we jumped over to Absolute Batman since you had just started JSA. So we'll do Absolute Superman.
Yeah, we already went through Absolute Batman, so now jumping to Absolute Superman. Absolute Batman is very quick.
Smart ass.
Right, so Jor-El is a safety inspector for the various mines, while Lara is a mechanic for farm equipment. So Jor-El is doing a safety inspection actually on a sunstone mine at the moment. However, Lara has a strange feeling about this day that she's going in. Various drones suspected or detected a seismic activity within the mine, which alerted them. So Jor-El is down there to figure out what's going on. However, the League of Middle Management leader,
dun dun dun,
basically the foreman, has come down and said, "Why are these people not working?" And Jor-El says, "Because there's a safety issue." And he says, "I don't see any crack marks. I don't see any safety issues. Get back to work." And then shit starts to rumble and then explode, and green, I can only assume lava, coming from the core of the planet, starts shooting out into the mine, melting a couple of people, but Jor-El is able to get out. Meanwhile, now, in the present day on Earth in Brazil, very similar story is a town full of miners that are being forced into the mines by the Lazarus Corporation, complete with armed guards dressed like Peacekeeper, the hero, anti-villain, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, how do you describe him? He's not exactly even an anti-hero.
No, that guy with the silver fucking helmet, and you can't really see him because he's played by John Cena, but
Jesus.
End of the day, y'all know what I'm talking
Get it? Yeah, damn it. That's the second sound bite I missed.
about.
That should have been a rim shot.
All right, so the mine that these miners are heading into was recently discovered to have a large deposit of asbestos. However, the employers can order them to continue digging, so now all the townsfolk are potentially just infected with asbestos poisoning. However, it has begun to dissipate, and the snow that was, well, the carcinogenic snow that was falling in the town has finally stopped. However, it might be a little bit too late. The miners were told to go back into the mines and finish the job, but then they get back down there and find the job was already finished. All the diamonds have been mined out, crushed, and turned into the ore that is so precious. However, the crusher had not even been turned on, as one of the miners exclaims, so they have no idea what's going on. Then one of the quote-unquote leaders of the miners says, "Look, let's just take it up there. Our job is done. There's nothing else to do. What are they going to say?" So they take the cart of mines up there. The peacekeepers talk amongst themselves, surprised that it's even done, but then one mentions that it's happened in a couple of other towns in Botswana and Daravi. And it's happened again. The night before, the same man that requested that they just take the diamonds up as part of the mining crew came across a mysterious hooded individual who had just been walking around with a weird accent and some weird language. This person happens to be Kal-El, as we know. But then we jump back into today, where that same guy has now been punched in the face by the peacekeepers, because he's the one that's talking back to everybody. And this is when Kal-El, who was hiding in the town, sleeping while his solar suit recharges, has been awoken prematurely, so he's not fully charged. Gets out of his hiding spot and goes straight to fight the I'm going to say peacekeeper is peacemaker. Holy shit. The peacemakers. However, like I said, he's not at full strength, and his suit can talk to him, so it keeps telling him that. Very much like Skeets and Booster Gold. He is at least bulletproof and still super strong and super fast, just not to the fullest extent of his ability. It is a battle he is winning, and he's getting people to safety, but then some drones show up, electrocute him, and then some armed forces, which are part of a troop that with the Lazarus Company, that is its main purpose is to investigate phenomena like this. They call themselves the Phenomena Field Team, and they are on the way. Each soldier in the battalion seems to be well adept at recognizing certain abilities that a potential target could have, so they know what they're going into right away. Kal-El does unleash his heat vision, which is a little too powerful. He doesn't have full control over it. Blows up a lot of shit. And this is when the armed guards come in. The new battalion has arrived, and one gets a little too close, latches a shackle onto Kal-El's arm, attaches the other shackle to her own arm, points a gun at him, and exclaims that this is Agent Lane. Suspect is in custody. Move and I fry your face, Superman. So Lois Lane and Clark Kent meet for the first time, and it's not what you'd expect.
No, yeah. Not really. Not really
at all. A lot of questions left to be answered about this version of Superman. We did get some nice little background on at least what happened with Krypton. We don't know how he ended up on Earth, what the hell thing was going on. We do know, I forgot to mention that, actually, I think I just kind of skipped over it. I don't know when I missed it because I was looking for it. But when Jor-El came out of the mine, he went to his wife and saw his son, who was like 6 years old. Oh, you know what? That's why I didn't see it, because it's afterwards. Duh, I forgot there was a backup. Yeah, so I'm not done yet. In the Nevada desert, there's a mysterious being that suspiciously looks like Brainiac in some kind of government bunker watching Kal-El do his thing. In central Kansas, we see the Kent farm just shattered. The crops are dead. The barn is torn to pieces and the mailbox has been smashed in, and out front of the house is a sign that says property of Lazarus Corp. And then we see years ago on Krypton in the Redlands where the L's live, Jor-El returns home, a little shaken up and barely aware of what's happening in his surroundings, sees Clark, a little older, not a baby. They all embrace as a family and hug as we see a green mist very similar to the green lava like liquid we saw melting the miners before coming out of the ground. Right. I don't know how the hell I missed that. But yeah, so there's a lot of answers still to be had with the Superman. I like it. I'm very curious to see what's happening with this cape, because it's like a foggy, like ore kind of cape. It's not an actual material. And the suit with the orange on the boots and the wrists is really interesting. I'm curious what's going on there. It might just be the solar energy that he has to store in his body, but we've yet to see like Krypton's destruction, where he was this whole time as he grew, how he ended up on Earth, etc., etc. But it's piqued my curiosity, and I'm sold. The art was fantastic. The story is interesting. The changes are nice. Still has that Superman feel, but you can tell it's going to be a darker ride. And I'm all for it. I'm giving this an 8.25 out of 10.
Nice.
This was a brand new Superman in every way, and in every way, it felt so much like Superman. I couldn't be happier. The way he wrote it made it the way he wrote it made me really want backstory, and I think we'll be getting drops of it like more and more as we move through what the book is bringing story wise. The issue has me dying to know what everything is, and the art Sandoval and Ariola's team brought just perfect panels to the picnic. This was fantastic. I will say I do hope that this emo throughout the whole story thing does change. I need a little growth there. Otherwise, Super Mumbles will be repeating himself a lot. But other than that, 8.75 out of 10, man. This was really good.
Yeah, no, 8.5 for me. Really just interested to see more of how Clark's, or I guess Cal in this continuity, just Cal's upbringing on Krypton as opposed to, the heartlands of America kind of shaped this perspective, because we got a lot of hints at that. Obviously, he's been from place to place and is just trying to get more of an understanding of humanity's nature, and has kind of an opinion, but one that's still forming. But I still want to, kind of explore a little bit more of how did he end up on Earth, and how has his kind of experience on Earth really been shaped in the years that he's been running around, and how does his Kryptonian perspective kind of factor into the decisions that he makes.
Is he stuck here, or can he leave at any time?
Yeah,
I'm curious about that as well.
A question worth answering. It almost reminds me of Man of Steel, like the opening of Man of Steel, or like the first 20 minutes of Man of Steel, but not bad.
But not bad.
Not
Jesus.
bad. Same idea, but better
good.
execution.
I don't know about you. I enjoyed Man of Steel. Whatever. Anyway.
I liked it when it came out. I realized later that was probably because I was like 12.
I was older than 12. I liked it when it came out. I just haven't rewatched it ever. But
I also liked Green Lantern when it came out.
Oh, I did not like Green Lantern when it came out.
Obviously, my opinion on that changed with subsequent viewings.
Because the more I watch it, the more I like it.
That's because you're like that with everything.
No, it's because we've had this whole Snyderverse since then, and shit, everything looks better in comparison.
That's true.
Yeesh. Fucking Megamind. All right, so I suppose we should probably move on over to the last number one, and indeed the last issue of the night or afternoon, I suppose. Night for us. Batgirl number one.
Wait, before you go, let's finish off JSA.
Or not. We could just not finish it. That's fine.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, let's do JSA. That's even better because I've got to do some coughing. Fantastic. JSA it is.
Unless you don't want to, Brandon.
No, of course. I don't know. I didn't want to make it weird.
It's okay.
I don't even really know exactly where I left off because my audio came out.
Let's pick up because I was trying to get your attention, but you couldn't hear us.
Yeah.
It was almost at the beginning, man.
Yeah.
Just start from scratch.
I know you got to the whole part with Infinity Inc.
Okay. So yeah, we can at least start there. That's roughly towards the beginning. Basically, it's Infinity Inc. calling the shots of the JSA right now because of some mysterious disappearance that caused Jay, Allen, Ted, Wildcat, Dr. Fate, and the Hawks to disappear, and Jakeem Thunder was also gravely wounded. And everyone's just kind of at each other's throats right now. Jesse's fighting with Rick. Obsidian's fighting with Jade. Everyone's just really mad at each other right now. And kind of trying to ease the tension, or at least Jade is trying to ease the tension, but it's just not working. So everyone kind of storms off in a rather crappy meeting, which in the worst timing possible is when Sand decides to come up and ask them about the nature of their relationship and what happened between us, which I can only imagine what that was. But Jade's like, not the time. We'll get to it later. Maybe, I don't know. But like, seriously, dude, the team is falling apart. Now's not the time to talk about like when we maybe hooked up or something.
Horizontal mambo lessons.
Yeah. So Rick and Jesse are fighting because Rick is not happy that Jesse is kind of doing whatever the hell she wants and not consulting him first, and Jesse feels like she's being strangled, and it's a little bit of a little bit of anger and frustration. And at this point, you're kind of wondering, like, obviously tensions are high and everyone's a little on edge, but why is everyone so angry? Why are they all so angry at each other? They're supposed to be friends. They worked together at Infinity Inc. for many years. Why are they like at each other's throats so much? But we'll get to that later. We check in on Jakeem Thunder, who is still recovering, but Beth Chapel, Dr. Midnight, is frustrated as she just can't figure out what's going on with him and how to properly help him. But Jade is saying if anyone's going to figure it out, it's going to be you. So she's trying to stay optimistic, but Dr. Midnight really just wants to figure out what the hell happened to the rest of the JSA, which is when we cut over to the Mystery Men in the Tower of Fate, and our questions are answered as the JSA is in the Tower of Fate, as it appears, but are lost, and there are some creatures from the dark that are hunting them, that the Hawks are at least trying to hold off to the best of their ability. Jay is running around the Tower of Fate, hoping to just cover as much ground as he can and map the place out, while Dr. Fate is losing his mind and I guess read too much Black Hammer because he's acting like Colonel.
Man, did I join right back in at the right time?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I couldn't review a Jeff Lemire book without mentioning Black Hammer at least once. But a mysterious entity cloaked in all black approaches Dr. Fate while he's lost in wherever the hell he is. He manages to get a hold of him. It causes him to like have a weird surge of power and then basically black out. The Hawks are still doing their best to hold off the horde that's oncoming, but it seems like they're losing ground fast. And finally, we cut back to the JSA Brownstone, where we hear mysterious voices. Or excuse me, not mysterious voices. We hear the echoing voice of Hawkman, while Obsidian walks into some kind of strange portal and reveals that he's not Obsidian at all, but is in fact Johnny Sorrow working on behalf of the newly reformed Injustice Society, led apparently by Scandal Savage, who informs the rest of them that they're just getting started. So
I think reformed might be the wrong word to use. Wow, and I don't know if that got caught on camera or not,
did.
but did it?
Signal
Did you
took a
see
dive.
that shit?
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. That chicken just took a dive for no fucking reason.
Oh jeez. Well, I don't know. Maybe they've been around in
What the shit?
previous form, but this, I can't remember the last
Yeah.
time.
His signal took a dive, took out Etrigan and Batman.
Oh man, rough.
And now I can't find signal. Oh, there it is. Excuse me while I look for my toys.
I don't know. I thought it's definitely a new roster. It's a new roster of the Justice Society. So
You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm blanking, but this definitely seems to be like the newly reformed Injustice Society with like all of the basically the new characters. Well, maybe not all of them, but a few of the new characters that were introduced in like the previous wave of JSA books, like the Dr. Elemental and I'm forgetting the
Ruby Sokol.
Sandman guy's name.
Was who?
On the other Sandman.
Yeah.
Oh, the Fog. From Venditti and Rosmo's run. That's the Fog.
Yeah. Is that his name?
Right.
Yep.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, Solomon Grundy, Wotan, Scandal Savage, The Fog, Dr. Elemental, Johnny Sorrow, Ruby Sokov, this new Red Lantern. And then
Gentleman Ghost.
I assume is the leader of Cobra, but then I saw somebody say that it was Shiv, but instead as being Shiv taking up her father's identity and being the Dragon Queen.
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, because I think they only went there because being a Stargirl enemy. But I think it's Cobra. I mean, Cobra is in the book, right? It would only make sense, wouldn't it?
Wasn't there a villain called Copperhead?
Yes, there is, but it doesn't look like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
They don't look like that. It's brown and orangish.
Something, yeah.
That's what I was thinking, because the suit kind of reminds me of the animated series version.
Was the Copperhead version on the animated series like green and white? That's weird.
Let me look at. Oh, okay, no. Sorry, I had a different image in my head.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's not Copperhead.
Definitely not.
It's Cobra Commander.
It is not Cobra Commander either. No, wait. Isn't Copperhead...
Copperhead wears like a snake costume.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. I think my brain might be freezing here. So yeah, that's the whole Injustice Society. It's an interesting team. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think that the Justice Society team pulled together here is actually a pretty cool one. Hopefully they'll be able to get their shit together as good as the Injustice Society. I cracked this thing open, dude, like right from panel 1 right up to the credits page. I felt excitement just bubbling up. And then I kept reading and it was like, cool, this is interesting, to, oh, this is going to be a gritty story about the power of friendship, to, oh shit, a broken newbie JSA has to overcome the Injustice Society. And these are people that know what the fuck they're doing. This is, I think, hopefully, fingers crossed, this is going to be awesome. I'm really looking like I'm really liking this, and I think it's going to be great. Hopefully I'm right. And Jesse and Rick, madly in love, am I right? 9 out of 10, freaking great.
For me, 8.5 out of 10. It's definitely an interesting setup. My curiosity's piqued with the Injustice Society. I was hoping to see a lot more, because one of my favorite things about JSA is the legacy. And as much as they're like we're seeing the legacy characters here, I love the interaction between the old and the new. Meanwhile, the old is stuck in a demon realm, and the new is... I mean, it's more like the middle, because even the new ones are now apparently reservists, like Stargirl, who has been like a solid member of the JSA for the past 20 years, and now apparently she's just a reservist. I don't know what the hell happened there.
She's doing her own thing,
I guess. Never stopped her before. But 8.5 out of 10. That's me.
Nice.
That's you, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what's not you. A deadly assassin. I don't know that there are Canadian assassins. I don't think there ever has been one. I think that's why Ryan Reynolds enjoys playing Deadpool so much, because he gets to kill people and be mean. Damn Canadians. All right, Batgirl number 1, written by Tate Bromble with art by Takeshi Miyazawa, with colors from Mike Spicer and letters from Tom Napolitano, with a cover by David Talaski. Cassandra Cain, Black Bat, Orphan, Batgirl, whatever name you want to give her. She is the most technically adept Batman family member that there is, and she's finally getting her own series again. That's what I said when I started reading this. All right, so it starts out with Cass getting summoned to meet her mother, Lady Shiva, terrorist, murderer, villain, bad mom. Shiva tells her that there's a group of people who want them both dead, but that's about all the details Cass can get out of her. Even when asking why me, Shiva's reply is because you're my daughter. So no answers. They won't quit coming. She's being forced into it, and they have a really good intel because they track him down fast and they know where all the hideouts are, or at least it seems so far. At least it seems that way so far. Throughout the issue, Cassandra is constantly telling her mother not to murder people. We also see from page 1 to the last page, Cassandra acknowledging all of the parts of herself and refusing to kill, though that is her natural instinct, while being with Shiva, and that's the important part because here it makes sense. We watch her go from speaking normal, as we've seen her doing lately for a while, and then slipping back into her 1 or 2 word responses as she would long ago, and that makes sense, spending time with Shiva. I absolutely freaking love this. Not only is it a new series with the best Batgirl ever, but it is a fresh yet familiar story. I get to read the Cassandra Cain I fell in love with and have it be written in a way with what is hopefully a good story. I like it so far, and with what's going on with Miyazawa and Spicer's art team here, it's recreating some extremely hardcore 90s art vibes for me for some reason, and I absolutely love it. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Can't wait for more. I'm so happy with what I got here. It's Batgirl Cassandra Cain, and I should probably stop raving now. It's perfect, just about anyway. 9 out of 10. Oops. Batgirl.
Solid cover, solid first issue. If you're a Cassandra Cain fan, you're gonna love it.
Mm-hmm.
The dynamic's interesting. It's Cassandra Cain being a friggin' badass. Story's got a mystery. Story's got an interesting premise. Story's got a lot of action. There's nothing to dislike here, I would say. The hell did I give it? 8.25 out of 10.
Eesh. And you, kind sir.
I don't know. Should I weigh in on this one? You guys skipped over me on JSA, so.
Wait, what? Oh, did you not give your thing on JSA?
I didn't even say anything.
Oh my God! Why don't you say something?
I don't know. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh my God! And I make fun of Rob for being Canadian. Jesus Christ! Weren't you born in Oakland?
Yeah.
What the hell? How? That doesn't even make any sense.
Well, it's too late now. No, Batgirl #1 was great. I feel like I still need a little bit more in terms of story. Like clearly, Tate Brumble got the character dynamic down between Cass and Shiva. But I don't know. It feels like yet another assassination plot. I need something of more substance. Like it feels like it's just a plot designed to have Cass and Shiva spend time together, which is fine, but I kind of want something a little more substantial than that. So yeah, so I'd say like 8 out of 10 probably.
I interrupted you. I got lost in the conversation, and then I just started giving my review. What did you give JSA, Brandon?
Probably 8.75 out of 10. I kind of, it was losing me for like most of it because I was like, this is just so depressing. Like everyone is at each other because I love Infinity Inc. Like I have, where is it? I have the hardcover right here. Like I love this team. I love the lineup of characters, but it was kind of weird seeing them, all at each other's throats, especially when they're in a crisis. I could understand it, but I was just like, it feels so dour and so depressing. And like, I don't want, Rick and Jesse to get divorced or something.
Right.
But no, they got to the end with the reveal of Johnny Sorrow being Obsidian. I was like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Right now, everything
clearly
makes
some
sense.
kind, like I'm sure their tensions are high, so people are on edge, but there's probably something else giving them a little push, and making them more combative than they normally would be. But I also love the premise too of like, because the thing about all the members of formerly Infinity Inc. is none of them were really leaders. They all kind of had equal footing. So them suddenly being thrust into, the oldest and most respected team in the DC universe, now they have to like call the shots and everything. It's probably pretty jarring for them. So basically what I'm trying to say is like there's a lot going for this first issue. There's a lot in the setup that I like. I'm excited to see where it goes. I also just like want more of these characters because I love Jade and I love Obsidian and I love Yolanda and Beth Chapel, and like it's great to see them in the limelight again. So
agreed. I feel the same way about Batgirl. Don't let me cut you off or anybody else.
I don't know. I didn't know how to.
It's called re-interrupt.
Interject.
Be like, I don't know, something close to, hey, I didn't give my review yet.
Yeah.
I heard your summary and I was like, that was enough.
I would have just sat on my feelings forever. Like, I guess
you know what?
Know.
I know. Rob, how do we fix this? You're a Canadian. How do we deal with somebody that's nicer than you?
Just apologize, smile, and move on.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brandon.
Sorry, I should have said something.
See, it works.
Exactly. Foolproof.
Well, you can't argue with science. All right. What a fucking week, man. Almost 3 hours. Some technical difficulties and a buttload of number ones and big issues.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Now
Well,
we got top threes.
No, we do have top threes. Who should give their top three first?
Brandon.
Brandon.
No.
You win, Brandon.
I didn't write it down this time, so I'm just gonna kind of wing it. But number three, I would probably put the Green Arrow Annual. Number two, JSA, which might be surprising, but my number one this week, for as much as I liked JSA, number one was probably Birds of Prey. Like that probably has the strongest character work of all of the series that we have right now, especially for
you got a good point there.
Yeah. Favorite moment has to be also from Birds of Prey when it's like the hard cut and they're playing the video game and it's like I gotta pull it up, but all the like combo whatever moves they describe were just really funny. It was like Heartstopper, Freight Train Punch, or whatever. This page from Birds of Prey where they're playing the video game. I was like that made me smile.
Heck yeah. Awesome.
Right on.
Well, I think my top three will be third place Poison Ivy, second place JSA, and first place, probably beating JSA out of bias, is Batgirl. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. My favorite moment, okay, so I'm a little ashamed to admit it. My favorite moment, though, I'm giving it to the last panel of Batgirl. I want a virgin copy of that on my wall, like 3 foot by 2 foot, framed, signed would be great. Thank you. That is all.
Right on. For me, I have Action Comics at number 3, Birds of Prey at number 2, and Poison Ivy at number 1. With my favorite moments, it's going to be the one that was most shocking to me. Is that going to be the last panel of Poison Ivy with Killer Croc and Janet from HR, full name, making out in the sewers as they get stalked by a shadowy figure.
Gotta get that lizard love. Oh.
But also, is now really the time for this? Like,
no, it's not. You're in a haunted town.
Yeah, if I was watching that movie, that'd be at the point where I'm yelling at the screen, maybe this ain't the best time for that.
Not the best time. Keep it in your claws.
Right?
Whatever.
Make out when you're safe, or else the shit ain't gonna matter anyway.
This is about the time when somebody gets a machete in the back.
Yes.
This was when he realized he fucked up.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it, and there is more next week. We've got Absolute Batman #2, Action Comics 1075, Green Lantern 17, Batman and Robin 15, Black Lightning #1 that I am really looking forward to, and we've also got Batman but Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age #6, Batman Dark Age #6, DC versus Vampires World War V #4. All of which are great. Batman Uncovered, which is just more of the Uncovered series, and another issue of Multiverses Collision Detected.
I was almost going to tell you guys I wasn't going to make it next week because there's a Linkin Park listening party in Toronto for the new album we got on Friday, but I was not able to secure a ticket, so I will be.
Yeah,
I know, I'm kind of disappointed.
you should definitely see if you can get like a last minute ticket or something. I wouldn't want to miss that.
It's a limited engagement, and I saw the announcement that there was actual tickets 2 hours after it was posted, and by the time I clicked the link, it was too far gone. It's a free event too, so like those are gonna go like fucking hotcakes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, next week we've also got something I'm looking forward to, Zatanna and the Ripper, which was awesome. I don't know if you guys ever got around to reading that, but it was really good. Jeff Johns' Rage of the Red Lanterns is coming out for $40. Jeff Johns' Rage of the Red Lanterns, $40.
Was that a trade?
Yep.
What the fuck is in that trade?
Probably everything
the Red
leading up
Lanterns
to
was a
Blackest
Final
Night, I should
Crisis.
Yeah.
Gail Simone, Aaron Lopresti, and Bernard Chang's Wonder Woman Origins and Omens is coming up too. That's for $40, and I would take that under my tree, please. But that is all, and there's a lot that I'm looking for.
That first arc of Gail Simone's Wonder Woman is, in my opinion, a little shaky, but everything after is great.
Agreed. Like it. Well, little shaky isn't probably how I would describe it, but definitely taking its time getting to where it's going.
Yeah.
But yeah,
although, I don't know. That
rest
first arc of that 2006 run isn't all that great, to be honest. 2 Wonder Woman was like, it's like kind of fun, but it's nothing spectacular.
If I may, shut your mouth.
Sensational.
That was.
Will anyone get that joke? I don't know. Comic fans, maybe.
Sensational, for sure. It's Wonder Woman. The sensational Wonder Woman.
We're not talking about She-Hulk?
No. Not unless we're talking about dropping it like it's hot.
For anyone who may have missed the joke, Wonder Woman was in Sensational Comics, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Once upon a time.
And then she was, and then her actual, her title even had the adjective sensational for a little bit. The sensational.
I think it might have just been Sensation Comics. I don't know. Something like that.
Something like that. We'll Google. You'll Google. Somebody will Google. Thank you, everybody, for watching and or listening. We'll be back next week covering all of DC's weekly releases. Same geek time, same geek channel. And that is the show. We're getting out of here, so you'll have to as well. Be careful out there. And remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone.